Ladies and gentlemen, all my friends, I would love to welcome you all to the ROG Academy show match. This is a very special event. You guys must be aware that ROG Academy has been creating several esports rosters in hopes of finding the next rising superstars in India. And now we have reached the 11th iteration. The 11th season of ROG Academy brings forth a new Valorant roster with five fresh faces. And we want these five fresh faces to keep practicing, keep grinding. And while they've been scrimming very hard, that scrim environment is just not the same as a tournament environment. And because there's not many other tournaments coming up, we decided, you know what? Let's host our own tournament. And this tournament is being broadcasted basically to give our players the exposure to what a proper tournament will be like so they can get all the practice required and they can grow much faster. It will be a pleasure to cast these matches with you. My name is Crips, and my co-caster over here will be Universe. How are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just excited to see what this roster ROG can do. We have, of course, seen, like you mentioned, 11 different versions of what ROG's thrown up, and this time around they've got a bit of a mix of both a little bit of experience and a little bit of a young bunch of players as well. We'll talk about them soon, but let's have a look at what's going to be the schedule for today. We've got multiple different matches. First three, of course, are going to be best of ones, round robin. That's going to go around the block. We're going to have ROG against Reckoning up first. Aura to follow up with that against ROG. And the final match is going to be Reckoning versus Aura. And whoever ends up in the top two of these matches are going to be playing in that grand finals, which is going to be a best of three following all these three first matches.
Yep, we have invited two great teams from the Indian circuit. One of them is going to be Reckoning Esports, the other one is going to be Aura. And both these teams have been competing in the Challenger League locally, but we invited them to become tough opponents for the ROG Academy roster. And of course, since this is a round robin format, each team will face each other at least once in a best of three, in a best of one match rather, and then out of that, the team that wins the most amount of matches, the top two teams, will make it through to the grand finals where they will be playing in a best of three. So while all these teams have been competing, while Reckoning Esports and Aura Esports have been competing in the Valorant Challenger League locally, this is a good opportunity for them to try out something new, because since this is a third-party tournament, since this is not a part of the Challenge League, these guys can try out new rosters, maybe try out new compositions, and throw a curveball to the ROG Academy players.
Yeah, absolutely. It does give a little bit of exposure. Although these players, of course, they definitely have played against or must have played against these players in maybe ranked games or even open qualifiers for the previous Challengers League. They don't really have that setup that ROG provides. Of course, you get that you get so much help from ROG when you make onto this team. They help you in every way possible, of course, providing you resources to play these tournaments, and of course they give you a great platform for you to showcase that you're one of the players that could be on the next big Valorant team. And for speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about the team. You were involved in the process of selecting a couple of these players. Talk me through them.
So ROG Academy, they've got a history of building all these rosters. They've made 10 rosters so far. Out of the 10 rosters, 50 players that they signed up, we have 15 to 20 players who were picked up by tier 1 teams, and these players did end up getting jobs in these tier 1 teams. They competed at the highest circuit, and one would say that ROG Academy was partially responsible for giving these players a platform, because they provide them with the resources, like you mentioned. They provide them with
Yeah.
gear, with coaches, with the whole schedule for training. This time we will even have a boot camp. So
Yep.
out of the 10 seasons so far, 15 players have been picked up in by tier 1 teams, and this time the 5 players that we have chosen are a bit of a mix. It's a 6-player team, actually. The 6th player, being a duelist, will keep changing the lineups based on which maps we are playing. So let me
Yep.
introduce you to them. The first player that we have with us is One Tap God, aka Sahil. He's been a staple name in the Indian esports circuit and the Valorant circuit. He's played in many teams, one of them being Reckoning before. And because he's going to be facing one of his ex teams today, it's going to be spicy, knowing that his previous organization is up against him now while he's in ROG
Yep.
Academy. So One Tap God originally was one of the best duelists in India, but for this team in particular, he is playing the role of a controller. The next player that we have is Caramel. Norbu Sering. Norbu has been playing for like 7 8 years professionally, and he's been a part of a lot of Counter Strike teams as well as Valorant teams.
Hmm.
Now that he is in Reckoning,
Also XRG, by the way.
and XRG. It's like some of these players have all had their roots in Reckoning Esports at some point. Of course, Norbu was part of a bunch of other teams as well, like Enigma.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't really get to play in the playing five, he was present, and I kind of feel like as a six player, his potential is being wasted. He deserves to be in the playing five. He deserves to be on the roster. So he's been signed as the sentinel of this team, and he's an extremely strong, extremely talented player, probably the most experienced on the roster right now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Norbu brings to the table. Caramel is going to be one of the superstars. So these were the two most experienced players in our team. Now let's talk about Max, our IGL. Even though he hasn't played in any of the bigger league tournaments, he's participated in a few local lands, cafe lands, and college tournaments as well. He's even participated in a couple of other third-party events as well with mixed
Also
teams
with
here and there.
RG.
Yeah, he was in RGE as well.
RG
Of
is
course,
very good.
he wasn't the smoking gun of RGE. He
Hmm.
wasn't how do I say this? He wasn't the star player in that team, but in this team in ROG Academy, he's been given the star role. He's been made the IGL, even though he wasn't originally an IGL. He wasn't auditioning for that role. We picked
Yeah.
him up because his potential is very, very evident, and the way he communicates is very nice. So, really fits the job.
Yeah.
Next, we have Lavish as our flex player. He initially, when he signed up for the auditions, he decided he wanted to be a duelist and an initiator. But then we discovered that he can initiate much better, and he's a good sentinel as well. So on certain
Hmm.
maps like Split, he picks up the role of the Cypher. On most other maps, he plays Sova or Fade, any info-based character. So that's
Hmm.
Lavish. He's a flex player. And then we have two duelists, AK Demon and
Hmm.
Laflame. Both of them are amazing, but the way we decide on how to pick the player for the particular map is that whichever map generally requires a jet, Laflame will be playing it. Whichever map requires a raise, AK Demon will be playing it.
Okay.
Even though both of them are really good on both these agents, we keep interchanging them. And honestly, it all comes down to the decision of the coach. Coach
Hmm.
is Kunal Ghai, AKG. He's coached in 5 different continents for 13 different teams, and
Hmm.
he's got a couple of VCL titles under his belt. So he's been amazing so far. And this team, they've only been practicing together for a month.
Okay.
And within a month of practice, this is going to be their first tournament. So let's see how they fare.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to see how this team is going to take forward this squad of six. Like you say, they have different maps of different strategies, and of course, they have different players playing in certain maps as well. So this is going to be an interesting one. And although we are holding on for the games to begin, we're going to just take a little bit of a touch on the other two teams that are going to be playing as well: Reckoning Esports and Aura, both of whom have just competed in the recent split one of the VCL in South Asia, and they have also had pretty up and down scenarios. Reckoning most likely, notably had a little bit of potential. They started off well, but just could not keep up the momentum that they thought they would have wanted to. Ended up, unfortunately, having lost a couple of their last tail-ended matches, and Aura as well was the team alongside VLT that made it through the open qualifiers. People are saying, yeah, they've got a good squad. I watched them as well. Their 5 players that they've got really have got something about them. They play a certain way. They don't really fit into your normal Valorant kind of style, and they did manage to grab a couple of one win for that matter, against Asterix. They weren't at the bottom, but they have shown that they can do some damage. But speaking of damage, the same bout that has happened, Reckoning versus Aura, ended up in a 13-0 as well. So there is a bit of,
Whoa.
revenge maybe here, a little bit of also the fact that Reckoning's told, yeah, you know what, sit down, buddy. You're nowhere near us. So there's that little, pinch of salt there. But we've also got RG in the mix, who come as a complete unknown. We don't know what this team can do. We don't know what they're going to be playing, what the agent compositions are looking like. So I'm excited to see, first of all, what the map veto might look like as well between these three teams.
Yeah, the map video is going to be on your screens in just a couple of moments, fellas. This is the best of one. So
Hmm.
making sure that all the people who join in, all the teams who are coming in, will have to play according to that. Most of these teams are used to playing best of three. So in a
Hmm.
best of one affair, I think we might get to see some maps getting repeated, because like nobody would want to risk a map which is not exactly favorable to them. They wouldn't
Hmm.
even want to make it a neutral map. They would obviously want to go for comfort picks. So if any of these maps end up getting repeated, I wouldn't really be surprised. So we'll have the map video on your screens just soon, as soon as we get all the players to rally up.
Yep.
So we will also be jumping into the game soon after that. So yeah, any expectations, considering that these teams have history on, especially maps like Haven? They got 13-0. Do you think they would
Um,
be reluctant to pick it up again, or what?
I don't think so. I think we've got a pretty, one-dimensional pattern for maps today. I just have a feeling, considering that we see what happens behind the scenes. I think we had a pretty good inkling that we might see Haven today. Haven has been pretty out and open accepted by Aura. They've played it the most amount of times. It's not been the best map for them. They've had some highs, but they've also had some significant lows as well. Reckoning recently, yeah, they've beaten them. ROG, absolutely no idea. I'm just hoping, we see different compositions. Of course, there's been just two main staples in our region. One of them being the default Jet Breach, Sova combination with either the Killjoy or Cypher based on your preference. And you've got the Fnatic comp that's been constantly molded and remolded. You've got the ISO Euro comp, which still continues to run pretty well, considering that ISO is now in a pretty interesting spot in the meta as well, because the
Correct.
undercut now, of course, suppresses your abilities. And I think it's a really, strong change that they made to him, although it is considered to be a nerf, because just think of it like, if you've got a raise, for example, or you've got anybody that's going to be flying in, it's so fast. It's so fast to just kind of just stop them in the track, right? Any ability that could possibly kill you, you could just throw that undercut, keep it always in hand to save a teammate or to save yourself. It's a really interesting ability change that they've made, and I'm hoping that we see an ISO, because this is going to be played on the current patch, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be played on the
Yeah.
current patch, yes. So ISO is going to be in the meta, and especially
Mm-hmm.
with that undercut update, it does become quite annoying to counter him, because you have no abilities to get yourself an advantage. Plus, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to be suppressed, and he's got that shield on as well. So I'm really excited to see what kind of meta these guys bring into the competition, because we've seen them play according to the meta in the main tournaments as well. But now in
Yep.
this tournament, whether they would want to experiment or not, that's a big question. The answer to that we'll find out after a short break, when we start with the matches, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Aces ROG Academy Showdown. We are watching this show match between the players of ROG Academy and Reckoning Esports and Aura Esports. Now, all three of these teams will be competing today, and this is essentially a game where all these teams can unleash whatever they've been cooking without the worry of too many consequences. Now, since this is a practice game for ROG Academy, we wanted to give them a much more serious environment where instead of keeping just another scrim or scheduling just another practice match, we get in a full production crew, get in proper casters, and basically stream this event so that it feels like a tournament, so that there's something at stake over here. And with that
Mhm.
seriousness, RG Academy will be going ahead with their debut game against Reckoning Esports. The map video has been done. Both these teams have banned out their maps, and in this best of one, Haven will be played. Let's take a look at the agents that they pick for themselves.
Well, it seems like ROG are going for a pretty straightforward pick here, and it's going to be that same Breed Sova double initiator comp. It's going to have a complement of a Cypher, not a Killjoy. Whereas on the other end, we've got Romeo coming in. Okay, they're flirting with the idea of 4 duelists for some reason. Mona is going to
Hmm.
take up the Sova. We've already got a double deal this year of Neon and Reyna, something you don't see often. And it
We
seems like
don't. Yeah.
Reckoning are in a mood to kind of play around a little bit, it seems. Romeo's playing. We've got Tricky. Uh, Not sure who the fifth player is. Who is that Reyna?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought it would be BBG, but I'm not sure if that guy
It
is.
is BGG. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Production says it is BGG. We're going to go with BGG. And are Reckoning seriously considering to go for a double duelist, quadruple duelist? They are. They're okay. Show match it is. I wanted something different, and okay, all right, okay, we're going for it. It seems.
All right, then. Four duelists it is, I guess. And now the reactions of all these players of RG Academy would have been really worth watching when they find out that they're up against four duelists, because they've been taking this quite seriously, mind you. The SOA, if I'm not wrong, is going to be Lavish. Max, the IGL, is
Mm-hmm.
going to be playing Breach. Usually, we have Caramel playing as the Sentinel, but this time La Flame, the man who's supposed to be the duelist, has picked up the role of Cypher, and AK Demon
Mm-hmm.
himself. I mean, he's doing whatever he was hired for. He's being the duelist as we expected him to be. But yeah, this is quite a bit of a lineup change for ROG Academy as well. Understandably so, because Caramel is not in this game. The SOA will be played by Lavish. AK Demon will be the Jet. And
Mm-hmm.
while their lineup is still pretty standard Haven lineup, this four duelist is something that I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just kind of here going for the troll. They want to just see how far they're just trying to maybe just see how far they can push the envelope, right? So that
Hmm.
they don't really get far beyond into what they thought is going to be a pretty serious matchup. They want to have a little fun, and it seems like they're going to try and do the same. Tricky crawling up towards C to have some fun himself. He wants it all for his lonesome. He's just walked in with the dash activated, and he's going to have to lose it. Romeo taking one towards mid at the moment, as ROG will trade back, and here comes Deadly, and he's known for this agent. Trades coming back and forth everywhere. C mainly being the point of contention. Deadly still standing strong, able to find two, and Reckoning not really going for the plant here as the rotation's been called, but Deadly doesn't care as he's just gonna swing out and try to get as many kills as he possibly can. Both the players pretty darn low, the initiators, and now BGG on the backlines. I think Sova is gonna expect him here, but unfortunately for him, the back was turned, and that's gonna be the end of a pretty straightforward, simple round.
Yeah, pretty straightforward indeed. They rush into it, the seaside first with Tricky and Deadly 10. They both lead the charge, and they really just wanted to fight, right? I mean, even though the SOA recon dart was used, they didn't really go for the wall banks. They just straight up went for the fight by peeking along. Normally, they wouldn't do that. They would hide behind the cover of their Omen smokes and whatnot, but they don't even have an Omen, so why not? They just pick up all these battles. They force RG
Mm-hmm.
Academy to draw out the rotations towards the seaside, and while they're doing that, the Reyna lurks up towards the A side, clears up quite a lot of space, and their teammates just follow up closely behind them.
Yep. BGG just a couple of warning shots. Takes one. Instantly gonna heal himself. Gets a little bit more antsy. He's not backing down here. Stunned up. He's gonna get a little bit of space here. Does put down the flashes. Is gonna manage to get away with another one here. While the rest of his team's already gotten the plant down. AK Demon hoping somehow he catches this Reyna menacing here off guard, and he will do so. But by the time that happens, by the time they even reach that A site, it's just gonna be half done. Pretty much the round's gonna be over. Now it's all for exit frag.
Yeah, and the exit frags are gonna be dime a dozen. Trying to trace, but the Neon is just too difficult to track. And while he focuses on Deadly, Tricky will finish the job. 2-0 for Reckoning Esports. And this is what happens when you lose the pistol. You should be able to recover quite easily. But now that the buy round is properly here, I think ROG Academy should be able to put up a better fight.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out if they can actually put in a better fight. It does seem like they want to take aggressive A control, and Reckoning are maybe playing with the idea of also doing the same. The Recon's gonna go through as AK Demon's gonna just get up closer. Reckoning just holding the lines for the moment as AK Demon just kind of situates himself into an uplifted off angle. As RGE just kind of try and maybe fake dabble towards Garage.
Yeah. And it's not like they're trying to mask their presence. They openly announce the fast lane. They climb up into the stairs. But La Flame is ready for it. Now he's kind of cornered in that left-hand side. And they're not going to challenge him. EXO on tap. God tries to step up, tries to get the kills, but he will be finished off by Deadly. And oh my god, Sova cannot track him. Romeo follows up, gets the kill onto Max, and closely behind him is going to be Deadly as well. The spray connects, Spike dropped in B site, but A site was already lost. Tricky and BGG, they both trying to come in from A-Link, hoping to recover the Spike, but the backup isn't here. Lavish, he's kind of trapped by himself, isolated and exterminated. They both are able to isolate these 1v1 duels, and Reckoning continue winning the buy round as well.
Well, it seems like the simple brute force aim and just push through strategy is going to keep working for this RG squad. And of course, they know a bunch of these players, of course, on the other end. Max has played with a couple of these players. Deadly 10 being one of them. And Romeo, of course, is one of the other players that, you know, we forgot to mention about as well, who is the 6th for RGE. Really great guy. Did play for True Rippers earlier on as a Sentinel, but it seems like now he's going to embrace the ISO, which AK Demon's just going to steal it away from him. Deadly. It seems like the internet just dropped in for a second, but in that split second, Moner says, I'm going to take everything away from ROG Academy, and that's left the Sova alone, hoping for one maybe opening that he could exploit to try and get something for his team. But in a 1v3 seems unlikely, and even when he's just gonna drift away into sleep. Oh, back he is.
Oh, the drone on the other end doesn't detect him, so he can get into Garage and nobody's checking him. He should be able to get the early frag, but no, he misses the shot, and now his opportunity is lost. Has to hurry in now. Time is ticking, weapons clicking, and Monier should be able to get that third shot. 4 rounds in a row for Reckoning.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just keep falling into sleep a little bit here and there as we get back. Okay, we're going back and forth. It still seems... there we go. Okay, there's a timeout from ROG this time. And it's going to be their coach, of course, not happy with the fact that his team's just getting absolutely rolled over with a bunch of duelists running around.
Yeah, absolutely not. This is not the kind of team that you would want to face, but this is the acid test for ROG Academy, right? Up until now, they've been preparing for proper scrims against teams who are playing in a much more disciplined fashion, who, you know, adhere to the rules of engagement. They don't do random things like pushing 3 areas at once simultaneously. But a 4 duelist composition, even though on paper this is very unstable, even though on paper this kind of a composition should not win, it is the perfect way to practice for ROG Academy because this is a very chaotic lineup to go up against. And sure, you might expect your enemies to play in a certain sensible way, but when your enemies throw logic out of the window and just run you down with raw aim and aggression, you need
Yeah.
to be able to handle that heat as well. So ROG,
Ye-
this is a test of this is the NASA test for them. Let's see if they can handle this chaos.
I agree. I feel like, not looking at four deals come your way is something that you wouldn't really expect, even if it's a show match, right?
Hmm.
And they're going for it completely unfazed. And once again, they're going to just rush their way in towards A. Hammer's been taken out. Here goes the ultimate from Romeo. He's going to catch one, and he's going to take him out as well. Absolutely. Max is gone. Flanks come in. AK Demon's going to be able to take him out. No, it's going to be actually the Sova who manages to do that. Mona's going to hold the back line. He's going to wait for anybody to come through. La Flame gets a good shot onto
Nice.
BGG. Deadly's gone as well. And it seems like that timeout might have just worked out. The A stack has called in probably the first round for ROG.
Yeah, and the A stack works. It's not just the stack, but also the wraparound from Sova. Tricky isolates one tap god, but this Sova, Lovish, and his flank was wonderful. He pushes a shot when he sees the opportunity, when he sees that nobody is pressuring that area. He takes it for himself. And he starts wrapping around the opponents before they even have an idea that a backstab can come in. Plus, no sentinel on their team, so they can't even tell if there's a backstab coming in. One of them will have to physically mark that area. And because of that, they were not aware about the Sova's backstab. And yeah, they will be able to, wrap them around quite quickly if this keeps up. And quick reactions from Lavish saved the round for ROG Academy, gave them their first win. Let's see if they can chain these wins together.
Well, AK Demon's got an op now, and he's concealed so far. Out he goes, takes a great shot. Deadly's dropped to the ground, and Tricky now going to use a little bit of verticality to make it a little difficult with La Flame. He's going to be here to cover up for his teammates. Another good stack, another good read here from ROG Academy. And what the hell did I just see in the name of a crosshair? Okay, Moner. Now okay. He's gone
Now
into
they're actually
full troll mode, it seems. Okay.
Such a large crosshair. It's bigger than the heads of most of the characters.
Heads?
Bodies entirely, yeah, not just heads.
Exactly. Heads are too small to compare what that crosshair. It's an absolute. I don't even want to say anything anymore.
Yeah,
Either
it's
way.
okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna head in towards B. BGG's got a tripwire to break here, but he's got one angle to check. Sova's a little worried about somebody flanking him from A. They're gonna turn around. He's managed to get one. Romeo trades it off, but he's on 30 HP. Plant fakes it. Gonna go swing out, takes one down, and is gonna get flanked from La Flame. It's gonna be 2 and 4. Reckoning slowly starting to slip with the waves of trolls that are coming through. And okay, seems like BGG wants a part of that big. Okay,
that's a huge crosshair with. Oh god, he's got movement
with
enabled.
weapon spread, by the way, with bullet spread. So forgive me, not weapon spread, bullet spread.
And movement spread as well, movement error as well.
Yep, exactly.
Bro, this looks like a Call of Duty crosshair. Not gonna lie. I can't say this line in any other broadcast.
I mean, okay, Deadly's going there as well. I mean, I have a couple of these crosshairs too. I use them usually in my team deathmatch. Is that what they're trying to say here?
Yeah, but this is not a team deathmatch. This is a show match. It's one would assume you take it a bit more seriously. But ROG Academy, they are up against a very reckless, very aggressive team, and this too is a good test for them. La Flame, hoping that somebody gets stuck in his strip fires, hoping that somebody offers him up a free frag. He's not been covered yet. Generally, he expects that this entire heaven area will be shut down in smoke and he should be able to shoot through while spamming. But Max gets a kill with the aftershock. Ooh. Deadly 10 on a killing spree. This guy's just spraying anybody who enters down.
Oh nice
my shot
God,
connected.
okay.
And he's got the overdrive as well. One tap god. He's being burned alive with the lightning fingers. And Deadly 10 takes over the round.
Yeah, he just absolutely went bonkers there. Took things into his own hands. Just constantly peeking from 2, maybe 3 different angles. In the end, slides out with the overdrive, takes out the final member as well. A lot of pressure here, and it seems like ROG just not expecting it to be this quick. Although that timeout gave them a bit of a standing stone, Instantly, it seems like RGE said, you know what, we're just going to turn up the pressure here, turn up the speed, make it a lot more difficult for them. And now they're going towards the one side where there's only one man standing. We've got the Cypher now hoping to pray for his life that nobody really checks him out in this angle. Cage gonna protect him for the moment. He's actually got a good spot here. Goes unchecked, takes out one. The flash is gonna keep him busy, and the trade comes in.
Oh no, One Time God had an opportunity, but he's been stunned. How on earth is he still alive? Max comes into the rescue, and Sova is also here. He chimes in with a frag of his own. The fast lane keeps Deadly 10 alive for the time being, but he gets triple peaked. And the rotations for ROG Academy are really fast. They step into the side before Reckoning could even set their foot in.
Wow, that was a decent hold. I thought that, considering that the Cypher was alone there, it could have been troublesome.
Same.
The ultimate from their breach as well caught the one tap got off. He was really lucky to survive there because 4 of Reckoning's players just flushed into the site so quickly. And then came the trade from Garage. They held on. Pretty decent rotation there. Lucky to have gotten away with that. And okay, Deadly. Okay, I see it. Doesn't. Okay, Deadly. All right. Oh, yeah, that absolutely sure. Why not? Why not? That works. It was a bit too overzealous there. Is opening up the A side for his team though. And LaFlame pretty sure doesn't check this angle. Yeah, I guess taken out. This is a little bit of, you could say the nervousness being set in from ROG, considering that they're playing against 4 duelists. Maybe they're like, okay, we cannot be losing to stuff like this, but they probably are letting the same thing end up catching them in terms of mentality.
Yeah, and so far the mentality for Reckoning Esports has just been press W, press mouse 1, try to win the round with just that alone. And yeah, with this kind of a fast attacking side, with 4 duelists up in your roster, ROG Academy's rotation speed will really be tested. Generally, the rotations are much slower from either side. You try to clear out areas with your initiator utility first. You try to check for flanks, try to make sure that nobody's coming in from the backlines, and then you start committing towards the side, or maybe just play for retakes. But over here, this is turning into a race to see which one of these teams can reach a particular side first. Like right now, LaFlame is going to announce to his team that, hey, everybody's racing to the C side. There's a full 5-man rush over here. Please come in and help me. And it's just going to test ROG Academy's speed, see how fast that they can get here. So far, they're using smokes to lock them out of the site. Deadly 10 has already lost his life while he ignored LaFlame. One more player ended up getting taken down. So that's Moner as well out of this game. But look at the gap that MF God has found. And these are the kind of plays that you don't really expect in a proper match.
This is breaking my head just looking at this crosshair. And he still manages to get away with a kill as well. BGG's opened up the A side. That's going to allow Tricky to get a plant. And he's got an updraft as well. So he might be able to just, perch up on Heaven if need be. While BGG's still holding that B line. He's got no idea that somebody's walking in from B main. But he's right now open from 2 different angles. One of them might just cross by him. They're turning back to back right now. Turns around, spots him. And that's going to be him taken out. LaFlame's got absolutely no idea. Tricky finds Max as well. And the flank being expected is going to go down as well. 3-7. Reckoning are just opening gaps that RG didn't even know existed.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're learning about these gaps right here and now. That's the whole point of the show match, to see what kind of gaps exist in your setup, to see what kind of flaws exist in your entire strategy right now. So if MF God is able to get in towards the B side uncontested, unchecked, then that's a problem with the Sentinel utility that needs to be fixed. So far, the Sentinel setup has been changed. You've got LaFlame placing his camera towards that one and done spot on C, and there's a tripwire in Garage. Meanwhile, it seems like Reckoning Esports just want to go for a massive fight towards mid. Look at the amount of people that they're committing to this fight, but ROG are prepared to respond in kind. They also have a 4-man stack over here.
Yeah, BTG managed to get 2. Deadly's running in for his own, but the trades come in pretty quickly at that as well. Reckoning a little bit of complacency while entering the site. As okay there. Oh my god, that is unnecessarily happened. I don't even know what to say about that. La Flame gets a trade, sure, but that was ridiculous. I don't even think that should have happened. That should never, almost never happens, but it did.
It never happens, right? I mean, only in a show match like this.
Hmm.
I expected this event to give my boys at ROG Academy a taste of what proper competitive esports will be like, but this is quite the opposite of it. They are getting the experience of what a team can do when they have only one intention, that is to go kill and fight. So this really tests out their basics now. At this point,
True.
ROG Academy's basics like their trading, their crosshair placement, all of those fundamentals
Oh,
will be tested.
wow.
But ROG Academy also want to fight. They invade in towards mid, get the kill onto Reyna, and now they're gonna get pushed. ISO ult used, nobody gets caught, and you've already got AK Demon on the flank. Deadly
Oh
10 will
no.
boil one tap guard alive, and Monia gets the shot onto AK Demon, gets his ultimate as well. Hunter's Fury will be used, and he's using Deadly 10's crosshair feed to get all these frags. The Deadly
Did
10
they
leaving
just?
nothing to chance.
Okay, so I just saw Romeo throw the undercut onto Deadly, and then his Sova try to kill him instead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're also trying to grief each other at the same time so that Deadly doesn't top frag. Sure. Okay.
At this point, it's an internal competition between the Reckoning players. It's about them, fighting each other. They're like, who's gonna get the most frags? A little healthy competition is always encouraged, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Fair enough. I think now it's up to BGG to try just run it down. Oh, they are going to be giving BGG an opportunity to actually get a couple of frags here because all 5 of ROG's members right now pinched up right outside of C, and BGG's holding his hand steady with that sheriff to try and take him out. He gets one, and we're still watching the flyby. Like, can we get back to BGG? Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Sova will trade back. BGG's gone, and there's another one. La Flame finds a flank, but Tricky's on another one
One
himself.
more. Yeah, this is a really fast flank. He's already caught up towards the guard
no.
side, misses the shot onto La Flame. So La Flame's just going to conveniently ignore him and continue making his way towards the site where only Monair stands guard. Good for one. And they already know where Tricky is, so this should be an easy round conversion for ROG Academy.
Tricky 1v3. They are pretty low. All 3 players actually are pretty darn low. So it is a doable round. He just needs 1 shot each onto their bodies. Already delivers 1. Needs 2 more. He's gonna go straight to the smoke and almost connecting. Max too quick on the swing. The burst works better with the classic. That's gonna be the pistol going the way of ROG. There's a little bit of confidence will be seeping in now, considering that they're able to trade back really well.
Indeed, the trading game is going to improve for ROG Academy by facing a roster like 4 duelists over here. But at the same time, I am a little concerned about the Cypher trips not being placed in time to intercept the lurks. I mean, you had that Jet get in way too close, way too fast. And because of that, you can already see that the Cypher setups are being changed. The tripwire has been placed outside of A lobby. And did it just disappear from the minimap, or did he take it back? Or maybe it was destroyed by the shock dart or something.
Yeah. Oh, the Marshall does not connect, but the Bulldog will. Max opens up the C site, but Deadly's here with a Bucky. That stun is pretty good. It's going to hold him back for a second. As Romeo tries to take the attention away, the shot. I'm pretty sure that hit him. I'm not quite sure how Max got away with that scot-free.
Yeah, right. It seemed like Deadly had that frag. But La Flame is already snuck into its garage, and Tricky gets caught off guard. It's all up to Moner now. And this is where the 4 duelist setup will really struggle on the defense side. They will have to play aggressively. They will have to get up close and in the faces of ROG Academy to keep the pressure up, keep flanking them, keep pushing them. Because if they just spread out and play defaults, the 4 duelist setup is not going to work at all. Oh, look at that chase. Moner is just running for his life. He's really hoping that he doesn't get to face all these players over here, but AK Demon, he's going in for the shank and stab. And that is going to be revenge. This should force Reckoning Esports to take this a bit more seriously.
Yeah, with a knife straight down your chest is always an intimation of the fact that, yeah, you're not what you think you are, buddy. Pipe down, as Mr. Wenka would say. But yep, ROG, a little bit of confidence, constantly just making them feel a little better here. And now BGG once again going to be put to the test. He does have a Vandal, but he's on half armor. So one shot from that Outlaw could end things here. But luckily for him, La Flame's on the other side of the map. Slowly going to be coming in, but BGG going a little too close to Comfort. Gets away, comes into the cubby. Has a second go at it, but he's going to be traded. And by that time, Romeo's made his way, and he's going to go down as well.
Uh-oh, this judge in the hands of Deadly can actually be deadly. The Cloudburst used against him. AK Demon gets punished, but so at least should be able to pre-fire and get the kill onto Deadly Tent. It's all up to Tricky now.
Ooh.
Lovely shot, gets away with murder. Tries to engage, but he gets double peeked from either side. And that leaves Mona all alone in a 1v2. He's just 1 point away from a Hunter's Fury. Nobody better offer him a free kill.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think he's going to find an opportunity to use it in this round at least. Spikes down, both of them holding on towards logs, and this is almost unbeatable, unless, of course, he can get a crazy spray down here. The recon, he's going to bounce it off, so that might actually give him a little bit of info, but nah, it's gone a little too far. Does not expect the close-up angle to be the up and down, and that's going to be 7 to 8. And ROG feeling a little agitated here to kind of rub the wound with some salt, it seems, onto Reckoning.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the coach of ROG Academy, AKG, is still currently telling the boys to continue playing this like you normally would have in any other match. Continue sticking to your strats. Of course, seeing a 4 duelist lineup against you is a bit of a weird thing, so I'm guessing the players might try to adjust their strats to, you know, account for this 4 duelist setup to make sure that the aggression can be taken care of, but I'm pretty sure that AKG will still be telling his boys to play it like it's just any other game and don't try to counter it too much. Tricky, oh god, that was definitely a little too much for Deadly. Overextends all the way into the attacking spawn and he gets promptly punished for it. Nice shot by Tricky, but Romeo's position has been discovered. He still manages to get 2 kills with 1 spray from the Stinger. And the undercut available as well.
Oh, that's
One
too
tap
good.
got caught way out in the open. Tricky surprises him from the other side. And it's just up to La Flame.
Where is everyone hiding?
Oh, Romeo, I thought he was going to get taken down there, but good stabilization of the aim. Finds 3, good positioning for him. I think that ultimate from Mona was actually a good thing because when they ulted that corner, I think they made sure that, okay, you know what, maybe that corner is clear because he just put an ult there. We're going to run into garage. It's not going to be expected. And they just did not see him sitting in that close corner. Yeah. Usually, most times, you don't see that being not checked because it's the first opening angle, right? But I think that ultimate from Mona kind of threw them off a little bit because, of course, the power of that big laser beam is one thing, but the distraction it causes with the sounds is also another.
Exactly. And for Mona to, you know, just ult his own player, cause him a little bit of team damage, just enough distraction to set him up for success. Despite the drawbacks, despite his own teammate griefing him, he used it to his advantage and caused a distraction, but ROG are ready to double swing. Nice kill by the Reyna. Dismisses back to safety, and now he's ready for the re-engagement. Moner gets Jet. That should be AK Demon out of the picture, and ROG get pinched over here in mid.
Okay, a little bit of taste of their own medicine as ROG now getting run down, and AKG is going to be forced to call in another timeout here. 2 pretty quick rounds in succession, considering that they were just based purely on aim. The trade that was visible as a game plan for ROG in the first couple of rounds of this half kind of faded away because of the fact that Reckoning just started pushing almost everywhere on the map. They're pushing B, they're taking garage control. C, not so much, depending on the fact that C has been a little weak for them. So they're just kind of pushing on A and B mostly and trying to take control and just make them feel uncomfortable. While one end takes in the brunt of their attention, the other side just walks in, flanks them, he shoots a bullet straight to the back and moves on forward to get another one. 7 to 10, and this timeout should prove to be a little valuable considering that I'm not quite sure what the economy is looking like right now for ROG, but I'm pretty sure it's not good because the timeout's been called, and if Reckoning win this, I feel like it might be the end of the road.
Yeah, I mean, if Reckoning win this, ROG will be at a 3-pointer loss bonus, which should allow them to purchase 7 weapons, but not all the armor and utility. So this will keep Reckoning a little ahead in terms of money.
Oh, they're
And
forcing
as you
in.
can see, yeah, I mean, they have to, right? They're putting in whatever money is left. Guardians, Bulldogs, Spectres, everything comes up. Meanwhile, Reckoning are quite comfortable. They've not only got the weapons, but they also have a little bit of spare change. So they should be able to afford the weapons again if need be.
Oh, no way. He's gone on a 53 here, Sova. The B-side's been taken a bit of attention too, and that's where they're going to be traveling right now. And one tap God's all the way in towards A Heaven. And now, because of that really obvious smoke, they know he's there. The Jet's going to be able to take him out, though. That's a little bit of an opening. AK Demon's going to be able to pull it out. Deadly! He gets away out with the Odin, but unfortunately does not reach his hand in time. Here comes Romeo. He's going to hold on his shield for a bit to try and open things up, as it is now a 2v2.
A 2v2, difficult one to deal with for RG Academy. Romeo just faces them so bravely head on. And now it's two Sovas going up against each other. Let the mind games begin.
Well, the one on the attacker side already took a huge chunk of damage in the beginning of the round with that spam from Deadly 10 with the Odin. And now Moner, who is on full HP, has to traverse across the entire map and hope that he's not close by somewhere to catch him off guard with his knife. No, it's going to be Garage where he finds himself situated. Well, he's got utility though. Clears off back sight. Waits for the Garage flank or even B. He's just hoping that somehow these sound cues give him something, but it doesn't matter. Because Moner's just going to make sure that he fires a bullet faster than his opponent. And that's round number 11.
Yeah, and he was already quite low on HP. Still, in a duel like that, leaving Moner at 1 shot worth of health, respectable enough. Unfortunately, that also puts his team very, very close to the win. Reckoning Esports at 11 already, 1 point away from map point. And the Reyna has been dominating quite a lot. Even Deadly has been just feeling himself. Moner is still trying to play this a little more sensibly, you know, by playing from behind, living up to the support role expectations. ROG Academy, though, they don't really know how to counter this aggression. They will have to reinforce their setups in a way where they don't get flanked very easily. And even if their opponents are full-blowing rush into a site, they have some sort of a way to hold on. Good pick. ISO is down.
Oh my god.
That's a big stun. 2 players caught.
Oh my god!
Down, C.
Jesus. Okay, that is just difficult to watch. That's so difficult to digest. All of them tried to dodge that stun, but everybody got their backs exposed, got shot, and that's a very quick way to shut down the round.
I'm not sure why they turned their backs once they were stunned. Like, we know the stuns are, 50% cosmetic, right? Might as well try to shoot your way through it because there's at least 4 of you there. How Deadly gets away with 2 guys turning their backs and then a 3rd guy also who's in cubby is diabolical. It shouldn't have happened. I'm pretty sure that if both of them would have just kind of fired their way through Deadly, I'm pretty sure he would have not gotten away with 2 there.
Yeah, there was easily a way to kill Deadly over there, especially when you have the quadruple peak advantage. Romeo tries to find an angle, overstays his welcome, and gets promptly punished for it. But Reckoning Esports, they don't want to give up garage control just yet. Deadly goes in to re-clear that space. Oh no! He gets revealed, and Monia gets him with the spam through the recon dot. One tap God. Really trying to win that duel. Kind of an unnecessary take, but he wins the duel nonetheless. And now, instead of going towards C, they take A-Link for themselves. They've put in the cyber gate so they can circumvent this op and go around the other side. But one tap get, he gets caught on the exit.
I think they might have made a mistake here, Crips.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they've made a mistake. They should have planted B. I don't know why they decided we're going to just chase this man with the op on towards A, and now La Flame's alone. The dash does expire, but it doesn't even matter because he's gonna walk straight into the crosshair of Tricky, and it's gonna be a tricky affair indeed. ROG suffered 13-7 defeat against Reckoning with 4 duelists and an initiator. And that final round was a little disappointing for me because I feel like they should have just stuck to that B plan. They tapped it. decided, no, we're gonna push this guy with the op, give him a frag as well. And I'm not quite sure why. They know he's on heaven, but somehow the guy protecting him is looking towards the spawn opening instead of the heaven opening, which I'm not sure why, because the planter was actually safe from the spawn opening. So
Exactly.
clearly the difference in comms or something went wrong, but ROG last few rounds they kind of just crumbled down with almost nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, plenty of mistakes made toward the end. That stun, triple kill, very difficult to watch. Challenging an op, even though you have cyber cages to cover your entry, and even though you push the op back, you somehow end up giving away a frag to it. One
Two.
tap god getting shot in the back of his head as he's trying to retreat. So all these tiny, tiny things, they all stack up, and they result in ROG Academy's first loss. But this was a necessary loss, in my opinion. This team needed to learn what it's like to face a much stronger team, what it's like to punch above their own weight class. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that they faced Reckoning Esports in this manner, because then this will expose them to all the flaws that they currently have, and hopefully they can fix it in the next few games.
Well,
Let's
let's
take a
have
look at the
a
scorecard. Yep.
yeah, let's have a look at the numbers, shall we? Just a little bit of a touch on the numbers, as we've got, of course, reckoning. Pretty much, you can see the dominance is clear. Everybody in their team performed. Mona also, even though he might seem that he's just made a wish with having 11-11, but he had two clutches, so it doesn't even matter. He's gonna give his team the advantage when it was needed, and he's just let his duelists do his thing. He's just been like the elder brother standing back or his backside. He's just like, oh my god, just go do whatever you want. And on the other side, Lavish did do as much as he could. I saw a couple of good rounds from La Flame as well. AK Demon, unfortunately, couldn't do as much as I would have expected him to. He had his moments, one or two, but towards the end, the entire team kind of just together imploded, making mistakes. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be words after this match here. And we're going to move on to see what is going to be the next outcome. Reckoning, of course, now one step in that final. They're going to be sitting there comfortably waiting to face Aura, who they've beaten before pretty well as well. And now RG are going to be facing off against Aura. Now, I feel like this might be a little bit more of a closer matchup, of course. Aura are a good team, but they did make it to VCL, right? They qualified, they beat out the entire competition. The only team that they couldn't beat was Velocity Gaming, and in their own right as well, because Velocity did win Split 1. So, considering all these things, Aura should have the upper hand because they've had a better bout of competition in the last 1 month. They've faced off better teams. They've learned, they've grown. ROG is pretty new, but I'm not going to take out from what we've seen just now. There were good moments from ROG, and I feel like they should be able to kind of amplify them in the upcoming game, considering that even this is Haven.
Yeah, if this is yet another game of Haven, then RG Academy should be able to fix their mistakes, because I'm pretty sure that they're going to use this downtime to make
Yep.
sure that all their gaps are covered. Obviously, because La Flame is playing on the Sentinel role, he's not exactly the most comfortable with it. He's
Mm-hmm.
originally a duelist. So a few role changes here and there will obviously make RG Academy uncomfortable. But
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, facing a 4 duelist lineup is no joke. I mean, this is the kind of aggression that you will never see in a regular game, and facing such a hyper aggressive teams will
Yep.
force you to change up your tactics a little bit, because under normal circumstances certain areas are just simply uncontested and you know exactly where to pick up fights.
Mm-hmm.
With this kind of a 4 duelist lineup, all that logic, all that game sense is thrown out of the window, and RG Academy will have to adapt to every single thing on the fly. And it's
Yeah.
not like we're letting the coach have free talking sessions with them. He's only talking to them during the tactical timeouts, and they only
Mm-hmm.
get like 2 of them. So we're still following all the proper VCT rules, even though this is a show match. And ROG Academy are still trying to take this in the best way possible, but obviously with Reckoning making things quite difficult for them, it's a bit
Mm-hmm.
difficult to adjust. I'm pretty sure that this team has
Yeah.
never faced a 4 duelist lineup or anything with a 4 any agent lineup before.
Yeah, in a competitive capacity, I'm pretty sure they haven't. Ranked is a completely different thing, and
Of course, but we don't
this,
count that here.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So considering that in most of their scrims, they would have just faced off, the most average basic comps, the ISO Euros, maybe a couple of neons. You could maybe probably throw in a waylay in there as well, but this is completely different. I'm surprised that nobody picked up Whaley from Reckoning. You know, maybe they do it in the next game. Maybe they do it against Aura. Who knows? But we'll find out.
Perhaps.
Yeah, but right now we've got ROG against Aura themselves, so we're gonna see them 2 times in a row play off against their opponents. But if they don't win this, it's gonna be difficult for them to step into that final BO3, which potentially again could be a matchup against Reckoning.
Yeah, so up next is going to be ROG versus Aura. Keep in mind that while Reckoning already have a game, they need to win their next match against Aura as well if they want to secure a spot in the grand finals. If ROG loses this game, then they are automatically out. In that case, Aura and Reckoning Esports both will face the grand finals in the best of 3. So, yeah, that's up at stake. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be back with the second match very, very soon after the short break. Hello, guys. Welcome back to ROG Academy show match. My name is Crips. With me is Universe, and we just witnessed the first debut game of ROG Academy Season 11 Valorant roster. They went up against Reckoning Esports, and in a surprising turn of events, while they were expecting to face a much more competitive lineup, they faced a much more reckless four duelist composition by Reckoning Esports and
Mm-hmm.
ROG Academy boys. They were promptly caught off guard. They did not know
Yep.
how to deal with that pressure. We saw some moments of brilliance. We saw some moments where their strategies were actually working, but there were several instances where they also made mistakes, and it's kind of understandable because they were not expecting a four duelist lineup, so they don't know how to deal with it. So now that they've lost this first game, let's move on to the second match. The second game is going to be Aura versus ROG Academy. That's going to be the second best of one of the day, and the third best of one will be Reckoning versus Aura. The team that has the most wins and the most round wins will proceed to the grand finals, which will be a best of three.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now we've got RG Academy. If they lose this game, they are essentially out of their contention to the final, which means Aura and Reckoning will be the ones to play that one. And considering that we do have, of course, Aura coming in with a little bit more experience, there is a bit of a you know upper hand that they carry, just a slight bit coming into this matchup because RG, they might try new things, they might do a couple of new stuff, but right now Aura have already seen what they can do, and Aura's best map, or rather, I would say not best, but maybe favorite map is Haven, and that's exactly where we're going to be playing our second matchup as well. So we're going to just have to watch what exactly RG can bring to the table at this time. Maybe they change their composition. Do they stick to the same one? I'm pretty sure it kind of seems like they're going to stick to the same one. They did feel confident, in certain points. It was 8 and 7 at a certain point in time, and then it kind of just spiraled down. But let's head to the game, ladies and gentlemen. The agent select is up here, and while of course RG Academy going to maintain the same amount of integrity in terms of their agent select, same as last time, we've got a composition coming in from Aura that's gonna mimic Fanatics.
Yeah, it's the standard Yoru and ISO combination. This is a
Oh wait,
combination that Fnatic introduced to us. They also have Gambo on Sova, Paradox. I'm sorry, Gambo on Omen. Paradox himself is playing.
yep,
Paradox generally is the coach of this team, but he stepped in for this match himself, playing as Sova. So that's going to be quite interesting.
yeah. It seems like they didn't have syncs available, so they're gonna have to get Paradox in to fill in that role, and of course, the King makes a comeback in a show match, and we'll see what he can do as we've got Lavish once again. The last one, he's going to be locking in. There we go. As RG Academy and Aura locked in and ready to go on and fight once again on this map of Haven. Now, the player that I'm going to be looking at quite, heavily is going to be Enzi. He has been individually brilliant, even in the Challengers League. He's been pretty great, and I think that he has potential. But on the other side of things, I think this time maybe I'm gonna see La Flame jump up a little bit in terms of helping out his team.
Yeah, I would also like to see all these boys step up. La Flame, obviously, while his comfort role is that of a jet, him playing the Sentinel role is a bit of a new thing for him. So I was hoping that he would be able to adjust much more quickly. But if it takes some time, then so be it. Would rather have him learn this more holistically than rush things up. But the lineup relatively remains unchanged for the time being. ROG Academy will still play with the same combination of Breach and Sova as their initiators. One Tap God is going to continue playing the Omen. Lavish is on the Sova. AK Demon is on the Jet. And La Flame is on the Cypher.
Well, here we go. Aggression towards A from both sides. And some of them are already pretty low. That shock dart and undercut combination perfectly works out. But ROG still not deterring away from here. They're just walking in towards A, not giving up a single sound cue, not even a single piece of utility. And now they're ready to run in. But look at Aura. They were already aware of this fact, playing on a retake. The chips have been taken out, but no, there's one, and he's gone. Homeboy takes him out. La Flame's gonna find himself in the next round as this pistol now going to be played a 4v5 in the favor of AURA Esports.
Yeah, but ROG Academy have the plant. Will they be able to get into post-plant positions? They're positioning under Heaven, and they've taken Graffiti as well. But this dive from Aura, it's insane. 3 seconds, 3 kills. Oh, they don't check for Lavish. He gets one, but that is all that she wrote for him.
Good try, idiot.
Yeah, well, that was a pretty solid round. Starting itself with that undercut and shock dart itself already crippled them, and they were forced to just kind of not give out any sort of information towards that A side, or they might have had a lot more pressure coming early on. And that's going to give Aura a pretty great pistol round. The retake just as good as the initial damage as well. So you can see that 2 assists for Paradox, 2 for Gambo. That's going to mean that this round is going to be a full eco. And of course, you've got a bunch of weapons. One of them being an outlaw, could fire down straight towards this C-long side, get a couple of free frags. But ROG fish away from there. They're going to head back towards Garage.
Yeah, they showcased their presence just outside of C-long for a second, only to take Garage control, and they've cut all sound. They're going to try to contact up over here. Laflame looking to encroach upon Garage. Meanwhile, these guys, they're just trying to break the tripwire outside of B and then maybe make an entry. Smokes go down towards C-Link and one towards the Garage window. Nothing to cover the A-Link entrance. But look at this fight. Roboxpo with a double. Takes 2 kills in Garage for himself. One tap god comes in to rescue. But he also loses that fight. What a shot. Aura Esports are out-aiming ROG Academy at this point. It's all up to Max. Flash doesn't net him much, and the Outlaw on the other side should be able to make quick work of him. Paranoid, getting flanked from mid. Oh, Paradox misses the opportunity. Gives Max just a tiny lifeline, which will be taken away from him as soon as it's extended towards him.
It seemed a little scary towards the end there. Could have lost another weapon, but Paradox made sure that he doesn't really give away anything. And they hold on to the 2 Bulldogs and the Outlaw that was invested in that round. Just the 1 Spectre that will be thrown away. But Roboxfer did really well to hold that Garage down. Got 3 for himself there. And has edged himself closer to his ultimate. He just needs 1 more now. And he's got a Vandal picked up. So it's just about time that he's going to be able to pick up 1 towards that A site. Aggression pretty heavy in terms of stacking potential for Aura on the A side. 4 players there. Now that they've seen that the recon doesn't reveal anything and they've heard Garage sounds, the rotation's going away. Homeboy wants to peek out through the smoke, does go through it, spots one, takes him out.
Lovely shot. That's AK Demon shut down. More players trying to encroach into the B side and trying to stay as silent as possible while they get one tap god into a cheeky angle where he should be able to get a multi-kill. 2 frags acquired. Homeboy finally turns around to get his 3rd. Just in the nick of time to prevent further damage. But Laflame, he will be taken down. Even Lavish was kind of cornered over there. No plan possible for ROG Academy just yet.
Yeah, you know, just losing AK Demon there kind of throws the entire, you know, section off for them, because the minute he lost his life, Garage control was basically given up. But although there was a timing there, One Tap God managed to get 2. I'm not quite sure why NZ just did not turn, even though his teammate died right behind him. Homeboy had already managed to take down that B site, which is heavily infested with 2 of the members of ROG. He took both of them down and then turns around and get a 3rd as well.
Yeah,
And,
stylish frag for him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it seems like here, ROG want to turn up things with the Sheriffs, and they are going to get 2 frags. Make that a 3rd as well. They've made it a possible winning round here, unless, of course, Paradox, in this cheeky little position, does go unchecked and has managed to get 1 out.
Uh-oh.
He's
and
heard all 4.
He's heard everybody, and he's passed on the information to his teammate. Look at the position that Homeboy is taking. He's going up towards Heaven, knowing that there's no smoke available. But Laflame gets surprised in a very unpleasant way. One tap god tries to kill Paradox, but he's been shot in the back of his head from Heaven. And in the end, everybody will fall. AK Demon took Graffiti for himself, expecting a push from CT, but that is not the push where he had his crosshair placed.
Yeah.
No way they could have anticipated this.
I was just about to say it was pretty much the same last time, and he's called the timeout exactly at the same time, even in this game. Two completely different opponents, two completely different styles of play. One was absolutely erratic, absolute craziness for duelists, running it down, going ham and crazy at you. And now it's honestly just simple comms and teamwork, along with calm aim that's working against you.
Yeah,
Positioning also from Aura has been really great so far. They're able to get into positions where they find multiple kills really well. So individuality is not a problem. Comms are good. And it's just RG Academy that need to kind of band together and get trades now.
exactly. The trades have been a massive problem for ROG Academy because Aura, it's not like their fundamentals are so damn strong that they're able to win the trade battles every time. No, there are certain gaps which ROG Academy can exploit. There are players who are guarding Garage, guarding the seaside, who are bearing the brunt of the entire ROG Academy team by themselves. And even though they don't have much backup, they're able to get away with murder and not get traded out. So that's a very positive thing that's working in the favor of Aura Esports now. ROG need to get the trades, otherwise they will keep losing the numbers advantage almost every single time.
Paradox, early information outside of A, but he's going to have a lot of pressure come up against him. He's been called off though. One tap got's gone straight towards heaven, and they know he's here. Shock dart indicating that he's now in trouble. The pinch is coming through. Cage down. Homeboy trying to keep himself alive, but one tap god strikes from above. And that's going to be the A side with a really great pinch there. With one tap god just staying alive on heaven, keeps his team in contention to hold that A side down.
Yeah, even the plant is relatively safe. The Hunter's Fury was used just to disrupt the plant, but one of them has been kidnapped. ISO takes somebody into his realm, but while that's happening, Enzi and Paradox, they both just invade the site. It's up to Max now. He has to somehow win this fight, and Enzi is already harassing him with the dimensional drift. Max is trying to make sure which is the real Shoyu, which is the real Yoru. He just cannot figure it out, and now it's up to Lavish. Has to play around this box, has to play ring around the rosies. He's broken the shield, has to somehow get the proper angle, but Roboxfer with the pre-fire wins that duel.
Yeah, that was a really good try from Lavish. Unfortunately for him, Roboxfer's aim is just on point. And that flood-in was really great. Max did well to actually get back two somehow, sitting in that cubby corner. Unfortunately for him, Roboxfer has just started off the game really well, and he's having quite the game. He's already, by the way, he put his ult down in the same round that just went by, and he's already got 4 back. He's more than half again back to his ultimate.
Exactly, and like the moment he kidnaps one of them, I think the guy holding graffiti was the one who was picked up in his ultimate, and that kind of breaks the Heaven graffiti crossfire, which is one of the stronger ones while defending the A site in a post-1 situation. So you take that crossfire away, you take dimensional drift, and basically harass every person who's trying to defend, and they're just really, really distracted. Nobody can focus on Paradox. Nice flash, Enzi unable to capitalize, pulls out the utility at the wrong time, so AK Demon does get the frag onto him with the knives, but this op in the hands of Roboxfer is absolutely filthy.
Oh my
god! He is just unstoppable right now.
Oh my god, that is disgusting.
I'll go in first.
That is dirty. That is absolutely unnecessary. He just turns around, does a full 360, readjusts his weapon while he takes out his knife to run away. Then he sits down, aims, and still kills that final guy.
Yeah.
ROG Academy must be
he's jumping over the
themselves.
wooden box. Exactly. All this time he's jumping over the wooden box as well so that he can line up his pre-fire angle. So yeah, ROG Academy, they're not just kicking themselves, Universe. They will be furious. How do they recover from this?
Well, Enzi's holding a pretty interesting angle with that op, and he does teleport away back towards C. So the A side's been left to the backbones now. You've got your Sova and Cypher there. One tap god's already pretty down low, by the way. He's going to have to be careful because, of course, he's the only one that can provide some cover for his team. So him losing his life is going to be problematic. So at the moment, he's pretty safe. I'm going to hold on to that A line as long as he possibly can. Fakes being sold towards mid and garage. Spot out Roboxfer. He's going to have to get away. He picks up the Sova, and Lavish now in a 1v1. against Roboxifer, who, by the way, just put an ultimate in the previous round. And there we go. Gets another shield. Roboxifer just absolutely on point right now as Homeboy spots out the rest of RG, and here comes the rotation.
Yeah, Homer's prepared for this one. No kill trips just yet to get him a couple of free kills, but I'm guessing plenty of shock dart damage will be dealt to Loveflame, who's been reduced to half HP already. AK Demon is trying his best to keep pre-firing that heaven angle so that he can keep the opponents away. But this Hyper Cage can actually let them jump down. Even the contingency has been used so they can flood into the side, but they're all just funneled into this tiny little tunnel, and Jet will be able to spray them down, get at least one. Homeboy has been able to get the trade. He turns around and gets the shot onto one-tap God as well. Lovely picks him off midair, but it's all up to Max. He's got way too many angles to guard by himself. And looks like this hell position is really not working out for ROG Academy in the post-plant.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're forcing the fight onto A when they know that every single time it's gone on for a post plant there, they're just not able to hold on their positions, right? The utility has been really great, especially the paranoia, couple that with the undercut, and then of course the shock darts to follow it up. It's just not a viable position for them to be in that A site, but they still keep playing it even though they know that, you know, Aura's really strong in the retake. I would say maybe exploring B right now is their best option, and it seems like it might be the case, but look at the adjustment from Aura. The setup's completely changed. They're going aggressive on that C site, and NZ, he's feeling it, and he wants to try and make them feel the wrath is over. Boxifer finds one outside garage, and instantly the plans have been foiled.
Bro, this Roboxifer guy is just unstoppable. He's so good. NZ's finally been put to rest. That's the duelist out, the diver for Aura Esports out of this area. And the neural theft tells them exactly where everybody else is. They can hear Roboxifer jumping across the corner. Can they punish him? A tiny amount of damage dealt by AK Demon, but he dashes away. Doesn't want to face the op. Doesn't want to face the fangs.
Oh.
And he gets shot down nonetheless.
It's a mistake walking past that, knowing that Roboxifer could re-peek it, because he's been re-peeking everything. I think the Omen's gone unchecked here. Gambo's gonna get a free shot here. He's gonna stand right in front of the smoke. Dodges the paranoia, but unfortunately cannot dodge the adjustment of his aim. One tap God makes it easier for his team to find the first round, as the plant goes down and it is a 2v3 on the C side, but Homeboy instantly brings it back.
Homeboy picks up the op this time himself. 2 shock darts, 2 cyber cages available. The cyber cages can cover their entry in, but you've got a couple of stylish frags by Lovish. Lovely spray down to get his team the first round, and this is a much needed win for ROG Academy. Great job from One Tap God as well, who, by the way, was having a poor game in the previous map. This time he stepped up and he's leading the team by example.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I unfortunately feel like it's a caster's curse. But I said Laflame's going to be, you know, kind of doing his bit in this game. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, you just cursed him, Universe. How do you feel about that? You just ruined his day.
Hey, he did. He had a nice game in the previous one. Not sure what's happening here.
Oof. Oh, I don't know about Laflame, but AK Demon's having a gala time. Getting the entry frags. Smokes towards A and C link, so B side is kind of under contest over here. One Tap God dives into the backlines and gets the kill onto NZ, and Homeboy fails to defend the B side. This should be an easy plan for them towards A link, but the drone, it spotted them. Did it spot them both? I think it did.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Oh, Paradox heard the teleport. He knows there's gonna be a 2-on-2 crossfire over here. One on top, one on the bottom. How do they deal with this though? Oh, cover the contingency on the right side so that he can isolate these fights. Roboxifer does do a pretty good job of killing One Tap God, but Laflame is able to adjust his crosshair at the end and get his team the second round as well.
Yeah, nice try from Roboxifer and Paradox. Unfortunately, they were just good for one there. Too many angles to be shot from, and that's how they will fall. 7-2. It's not completely out of the bag just yet. RG have found 2 rounds in succession at a good time, to be honest. So they're going to be able to actually build up a bit of momentum here, because the buy for the defense is not that great. Look at that. Half armors across the board, a Stinger as well. 3 Vandals. And while all of that's available, of course, one thing that Aura does have is, of course, a lot of confidence. Now, outside garage, a full platoon of ROG Academy members, giving out warning shots, break out doors, and taking one with them as well.
Agged, but there's a counter hunter security by Paradox. Knowing that there's so many players towards Garage, he just shoots it blind, hoping that the target-rich environment would net him at least one frag, but he doesn't get any of that. So they've heard Paradox retreat towards C-Link. They know there's at least one more player close towards Garage. What ROG now must realize is that A is up for the taking.
Right here.
But they're not going there instead. They placed a very aggro tripwire towards the bottom of mid, but look at this, Paradox.
Paradox?
The moment he tries to go in, he gets triple peaked. Very unlucky for him. But Roboxfer will return, and he will be promptly welcomed with open arms, embraced by the sweet, sweet release of death.
Yeah, I was actually in the same questioning line as you. Should they be really going C, considering that they've seen so much resistance towards Garage and B? They found a pick as well. A should have been the perfect site for them to execute, but hey, if you're able to find Paradox walking out with a knife, why would you not want to push that C side? I'm not sure why he thought nobody's gonna be on the other side there. Maybe they too expected the same thing we did, that they probably should go towards A.
Yeah, same, right? I mean, they probably expected that ROG Academy will spread out in a more of a defaultish pattern, and the moment Roboxfer managed to kidnap one of the players into his own realm, Paradox was probably venturing down the C-Long avenue, hoping to act as an insurance policy. In case Roboxfer dies in that duel, he will be ready to welcome the opponent. But he just got quadruple peaked. It's just so fun to watch. Kind of unlucky for Paradox. But yeah, for now, in this round, there's a 1-for-1 trade on A. And in this kind of a situation, ROG Academy will have a bit of an advantage because AURA Esports ideally would have to spread their defenses thin, but instead they're concentrating them. Roboxfer and Paradox both heading towards A shot, hoping to pick up the spike, but Paradox, he kinda baited Roboxfer over here. He does not peek, and now he's gonna continue backstabbing them very, very slowly.
Well, here they go towards the C side. The teleports just to give a little bit of cover. Gambo with a flash does force one tap god to tuck in. And now it's the Omen versus Omen. It's going to be Gambo to win that out. Smokes go down again. He's got a flank though, and that is not going to be enough because the one in front of him is the one that's going to kill him. Being covered. One shot. Paradox gets away with it. 70 HP. The op just grazes past him. And now a recon. Get him some more information. Not gonna find him anything. The drone's still available. He's gonna now find the op as well. Nope.
Okay. I was kind of wondering if Max had the aftershock right now, because that drone deployment would have been the perfect time to use the up.
Oh, he did. He
I don't
does.
know. He had the aftershock. He didn't use it. Okay, then he had the fault line as well to make. Okay, now he uses it. Please use the aftershock now. No?
Nah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, Just not one of those rounds where, you want to hit the button C and then release a big circle of death that pulsates twice to kill you. Not that
Especially
round.
when, not that round. Even when you have an opponent trapped, cornered in the cubby, stunned by the fault line,
then.
just...
Nope.
Nope.
Nuh-uh. It's the gut instinct. It's, the intrusive thoughts cannot win, bro. They just cannot win.
Or maybe he's just greedy. He doesn't want to reinvest into that aftershock. I mean,
In the
after
final
all,
round, though?
yeah. I mean, they were kind of struggling with the economy, so they were like, maybe I'll have to, give a gift to one of my friends. Maybe I'll have to buy a weapon for one of my teammates. That's probably why I wanted to save the money, save the $300. Wait, the aftershock is still $300, right? Or is it 250 now?
Yeah, it's 300.
It's still 300, right? Okay.
I think so. Well, even then, it seems like AURA have a bit of a hole in their plan right now because 7-0 they were down, and now they're 7-4. It could be a 7-5 considering the way that their economy is kind of dropped down as well. I want to say this is courtesy of Paradox because he had something similar happen to him a couple of months ago. No trauma inducing here, but
okay, I want to hear about this trauma. What's this PTSD?
Ascension, SPG, 7-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Just
Kind of
reminisce.
Yeah.
Don't want to put it there, but it kind of feels like it.
Way back down in the memory lane, universe. This was what, September last year?
Yep.
It's been a good 5-6 months since then.
Yeah, ask him if he still remembers it. Ask him. Go on. Ask him. Does he know what happened? I'm pretty sure he'll tell you like it happened yesterday. The pain.
Damn, bro. Well,
Oh.
the control smoke that ROG Academy have put down on A long was used by Paradox to farm that ult up. Not that he's gonna be able to get his ult online
He's gone.
anytime soon. The Rolling Thunder comes through, flashes as well. Paradox down. Even the Hunter's Fury has been deployed just to make sure that any stragglers will be taken care of. But Roboxfer, he's still holding his ground. Max with the pre-fire. It's amazing. NZ is hoping to get an advantage, but he will not be able to find anything, so he just gets out of there. No value found from the Dimensional Drift. He'll have to try his luck some other day.
Well, there's that aftershock you were hoping for, NZ. Okay, pulling around with death here. Checks the backstab just once, and now he's focused all on that side. Has to try it, though. Nothing else left in this half but to just try. Does have a flash.
And a clone.
Yeah, could put it to good use. Checks his corners, does not use any utility. Goes straight for the peak!
What?
Lines them up, and one of them was, of course, pretty darn low. Now, default is the only place that's not being checked. He does spot him out, and it's all about time. Okay, now he's NZ's gonna have to give it up because he just, yeah, there's no time. One tap God's gonna tap him as 7-5, and that's an amazing recovery from ROG Academy.
I would really want to know what NZ was thinking about over there. He just starts walking towards long, pretending like he's a decoy, and one tap God calls the bluff. Well, that was a pretty good recovery, I would say. Obviously, it could have been better, but after being down 0-7, I think a 7-5 is a pretty respectable scoreline.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's an incredible recovery. It's as good as making it 6-6 if you were 6-0 down. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to help them propel this pistol round into their side. A pretty heavy stack on B, by the way. Look at that. And they've read this right as well. RG Academy are going to face off this B attack from Aura, and they're running straight in. Flash? No, it doesn't matter. They're just going to straight up hit heads. And one tap God's made his way here. Again, a headshot. Unfortunately, not strong enough, that classic. That's why you need to find yourself a teammate to burst it along with. Shock Dart's going to be good for one. Sova, it's going to be Lavish, and he's going to get knifed. Lavish. No way! Oh my! Yeah, I'm done. I'm running away. I'm not joking. I'm running away from my PC. I don't want to watch this anymore. And of course, guess who it is? Of course, it's the greatest player from South Asia, Paradox. He hit the wall. Okay.
I love the relationship that you have with Paradox right now. It's like none of you had a chance to roast each other, and after he successfully sliced and diced the wall, left a big black mark over there, you absolutely deserve to more. But hey, Lavish got an ace in the show match. That's definitely one to highlight. Going to boost his confidence up. One tap God, two taps with the outlaw, dispatching them back to the spawn. And the other two players have been spotted by the camera as well. The spams will come through, peppering them down, forcing them to get away. Paradox, he managed to escape once again, but Lovich is there to welcome them once more. Clean, flawless round from ROG Academy as they tie up the score 7-7.
Just reminding you guys, Paradox is the coach of this team, by the way. The coach went for the knife and hit the wall. Just letting you all know. You know,
It's okay.
the coach is the one who usually tells you, don't knife, secure the round. It doesn't matter. If you hit that knife, it doesn't matter. If you don't hit it, you're gonna lose that round. So yeah, just letting that be out there. And let's move on now. 7-7. Yeah, AK Demon's got the outlaw. Back he goes towards a short. He's been detected. Oh, close enough to actually find that shot. But Roboxifer, he's going to push in further. Now, does he check the corner is the question. But oh my God, that is an absolute shot and a half. Does get traded. Gambo's looking for another one. We'll find it counter-wise. Keeps the number advantage to his side. And instantly, it seems like it's going to be stolen black from Bluff Flame.
Okay, run and gun with the Spectre. Gets him in kill towards Garage, but Max looking to re-engage towards a shot, but sight's already been lost. Paradox has already walked in and shoots Max in the side of his head. One tap God, hoping to find the timing, just can't get anything done. The smoke also a tad bit late. And it's all up to La Flame. Him
Yep.
and the Vandal he recovered against the two of these players. It's Gambo and Paradox.
Gambo's pretty down low as well. So he's going to be playing on Heaven as a contingency, but it should be Paradox. He's going to end up being that first contact here. Could lose his life. He's been spotted. I'm pretty sure he's been seen here. No, he's not. Never mind. He's not. But unfortunately for La Flame, his shoulder has been given a peeking to. No knifing this time. Good job, Paradox. Good boy. Learns from his mistakes pretty quickly.
Wow. It's almost like you care about him more than ROG Academy, bro. Like, I
Nah,
know
nah.
you guys are friends, but you do know that you do know he lives like 10 minutes away from my house, right? I can go pay him.
Does
a visit
he?
if
All
you
right.
want.
You should probably go and give him, you know, a big bump on his head for
A
missing
little-
that knife. Or you should just
a little
you know,
bonk.
yeah, just go to his house and tell him, how did you miss that knife?
Soon we'll be seeing the ROG Academy boys in person
That's
as well.
a brilliant flash.
Ooh, one tap got good recovery, but it's just not enough. La Flame also has to step up, and within a matter of seconds, half the server is dead. 6 bodies on the floor, 2v2 for both these teams.
Well, the ultimate's being committed here from Lavish, and he's just hoping to catch somebody off guard, give a little bit of damage. It's not going to touch, misses Gambo by an inch, and the drone's going to be sent out to just get information. Spots one. He knows one's under. Doesn't know if anybody's on default or not. One paranoia available onto Gambo, and both of them are playing under Heaven. It's the same duo once again in that clutch situation. Gambo and Paradox. Recon put down. Detection will be there, and he's looking somewhere else. I'm not sure what Lavish was hoping to see, but he does not check the angle that's right in front of him. The cage is protecting you, my friend. What are you looking at?
Yeah, the cage protects him, creating manufacturing angles and cover on the fly. Great adjustment by Aura. They lost the first 2 rounds, partially because of Paradox and his knife attempt. But Lavish also, credit where it's due, he got that ace and got his team the much-needed pistol win. Now, they once again find themselves with just a bunch of pistols. Sheriffs and light armor, so that's a forced buy for ROG Academy. Up against a relatively full buy from Aura. There's just one stinger available on them. Use the contingency to get up towards a shot, and Gambo already sticks the teleport towards Heaven. A side is being crunched, but it's completely empty. ROG Academy instead are going for a massive B push, and they will find themselves at the bottom of A lobby.
Spike planted.
Oh, they outmaneuvered with just the jet here, but Paradox has seen it, and now they know the flank's coming in. Here goes the ultimate, so one of them's been caught or kidnapped. Homeboy gets away. Roboxifer wins it with a stinger of all things in his realm, as Enzy's going to be traded off here. Homeboy still keeping it alive. The Recon's going to detect him. He's still blinded though. Time's running away, and Paradox makes it easier. Came a little too close for comfort. Almost seemed like a bunch of weapons could have been dropped there, but Homeboy stands strong, does not give up his space, does have cover from his teammate as well. And RG Academy's flank maneuvers almost came to fruition, unfortunately. Just not well timed.
Yeah, timing leaves a lot to be desired. And it all came down to Paradox spotting them over there towards A lobby. If he hadn't been a little more proactive, I think this flank could have been concealed and ROG Academy would have a slight advantage in terms of surprise. But that element of surprise was lost very quickly. And now look at this, NZ acting like a massive live owl drone, spots them both, relays the information to his team, and they will use it to pressure them with the Hunter's Fury as well as taking the site to themselves. Cambo, lovely 2 kills with the Vandal.
Yeah, now they're going to take garage control as well. They're going to hold on. They want to make sure that ROG have absolutely no space to breathe. The drone's been turned off as well with that undercut. Gives them the suppression. Lavish does get a trade-off back. He's 5 seconds away from a recon. Gonna have to let the clone go by. No, shoots it down. Just make sure no problems there. And his teammates lost his life, and that's gonna be the end of this round. 11-7. It seems like it might be 13-7 after all. Again, maybe, and not sure. But RG Academy it seems like once they build up their momentum, the minute they lose one round a little bit convincingly, they seem to just kind of crumble into the pressure of just one round being lost. Because until it was 7-7, honestly, it looked like RG were doing really well to come back. They were 7-0, they went 7-7, and now they're 11-7, and it's again the exact same place that their coach took a timeout in the previous game. It's deja vu.
Yeah, it is deja vu. The ghosts of their mistakes continue to haunt them in the present as well. Looks like the past hasn't really been kind to them. So every time they lose like 4 rounds in a row, AKG takes a timeout, knocks some sense into the skulls of his teammates, and just gives them a little bit of instruction onto how to approach this default. Because so far, ROG Academy have been quite proactive, but it's not netting them the results all the time, because even though they are playing aggressively, even though they go for these flanks, they're not able to get Aura Esports in time. Like Aura already get the side control by the time the flank from ROG has been activated. So that's one thing about timing that they need to fix potentially. Could be a lot more, but this is just one of the issues.
Yeah. Well, I hope this timeout's going to give them a little bit of clarity, because they do have a couple of ultimates to put to good use here, especially one tap god. He has been pretty solid with the use of that on from the shadows. On the attack side, I should add that he's been pretty solid with it. But on the defense side, if they want to make a quick play, if they want to make an aggressive play, because Aura are not wasting time when it comes to getting into these sites. So finding them on the back lines could be something that they might be interested in, but no. They expect the mid push. Raboxa first blind, but he's got NZ completely clear visioned and clear aimed right in front of him. The cover from the teammates is perfect. Lavish now trying to find the A side towards himself as well, but unfortunately, is the only two members who survive. They're gonna head in and they're gonna face an op, and that op's gonna be taking them down. It's gonna be 12-7. The timeout seemed to not have worked the way they would have hoped to, because honestly, Aura, they read it perfectly, didn't they? Raboxa first sitting with a shorty at window, knew exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's almost like they were prepared for ROG Academy to come that side, and they were just waiting for them to step into that trap. The moment they set their foot in, the trap is sprung, the nets are thrown, and ROG Academy is pincered over there in every direction, torn apart like a bunch of vicious wolves who haven't been fed in days. But this is still quite good experience for ROG Academy. The last Haven game, facing 4 duelists, a reckless, unnecessarily aggressive team against them, and this time they're facing a much more disciplined opponent. An opponent who isn't just disciplined in the traditional sense where they stay passive, but they also proactively try to set up traps for ROG Academy. NZ makes his way from garage, catches Max off guard, and he gets another one. Trade from Academy is simply not present. And now there's 2.
Enemy remaining.
Tries to clear the garage area. He cannot account for NC to be on the other side, leaving it all on the shoulders.
Exactly where you are.
Revealed by the nearest left, armed with just a judge and himself alive, because he knows he's going to be hunted off. Maybe they overextend. Maybe they give him a fighting chance, but it's been snatched away from him the moment he gets a glimmer of hope. ROG Academy lose both the maps 13-7. But
yeah,
both of those opponents were extremely different from each other, and their playstyles was not the same at all. So I would say that even though they lost, this is still pretty good experience, because they get to face a variety of opponents. They get to face a variety of different types of assaults.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was, 2 teams that came in with a little bit of aggressive foot forward. It was, 2 different terms of rosters. Of course, one of them came with a completely troll mindset. They're like, we're going to run this down with the most amount of jokes possible. The other one said, all right, we're going to try. We're going to play our comp, but we know what we're doing. We know how to counter these people. We know that we can hold them off. And with that, RG Academy, unfortunately, I feel like the approach they had in game 1 was somehow better than game 2. I feel like they were 2 different types of RG teams they were playing. Because in the first game, even though they had 4 duels against them, it almost seemed like they were angry, right? They seemed like, you know what, these guys are trying to, just make fun of us, or, make fun with us, whatever. But they had a different approach. They were aiming well. Here, I see that they did try to do a little bit of individualistic plays. It didn't really work out. And on the other end, individuality showcased really well alongside cover and trades, because Aura had great trades and they had individuality from Roboxifer that shined through and through. And of course, they had Paradox doing his usual bits.
You still suck up on that Paradox failed knife attempt.
He's never forgetting that.
He's never forgetting that. Hey, but Lavish also got a memorable moment. A lovely ace from him in the pistol round itself puts him at the top of the scoreboard for his team. 22 frags for him and only 15 deaths. Of course, Max and LaFlame, they could not really step up in this particular match, but LaFlame was doing pretty well for himself in the previous game against Reckoning Esports. You also have to keep in mind that ROG Academy are also experimenting with their roles, because LaFlame doesn't generally play the Cypher. He's been picking up that role only in the last few days, so it's still quite a relatively new experience for him. AK Demon as the Jet. Generally, he's the guy who picks up Raze. So different kind of duelist, but not that much of a role change for him. So ROG
Yeah.
Academy, I'm glad that they get to face all these opponents. Even though they don't win the games, is going to help them a lot. And this is not the only show match that we are hosting. We're going to be having plenty of such matches in the future as well. For now, though, we will be heading into the third game. That third game is going to be between Reckoning Esports and Aura. Now, of course, Reckoning were trolling a little in the first game. I do believe that they might be forced to play in a lot more sensible way now, because Aura is a much stronger opponent. Even if they decide to not play it seriously, even if they decide to just indulge in a bit of fun, in a bit of tomfoolery, I'm pretty sure that they will have secured their spot in the grand finals, so they can still continue playing that. It's essentially these two teams facing each other for 4 maps, maybe even 3 if they manage to close out the best of 3 in a 2-0 affair.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to find out, because of course now we have a grand finalist as well. It is gonna be Reckoning and Aura, of course, both of them getting 1 win against ROG, and ROG unfortunately will have to watch that final and maybe learn from what they can do better from these teams. It is, of course, a new team. They will have their time to shine and eventually make it through, because this team is obviously going to be participating in the qualifiers for the next VCL as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to try whatever tournaments come through, and we're going to find out all of that. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a tiny little break before our next set of matches. Reckoning and Aura, a lot of it coming your way just after this break.
Welcome back to ROG Academy show match, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cribs, with me is Universe, and we just saw ROG Academy play their debut tournament matches against Reckoning Esports and against Aura Esports. Both these teams were completely different kinds of opponents, even though the map was the same. Reckoning Esports showed a completely different flavor of Valorant to our boys with four duelists and a very hyper aggressive strategy. They
Mm-hmm.
basically ran them down. Whereas on the
Yep.
other hand, Aura Esports played a relatively more conventional style of Valorant. And at this point, the boys know exactly what their mistakes were. They will try to fix them in their upcoming future matches. So this was a very good learning experience for the boys of Valorant roster of RG Academy.
Yep.
Next, we're going to be having the matches between Reckoning Esports and Aura. You can take a look at the schedule so far. We've had three best of ones planned, and the team that wins more in these three best of ones will go ahead with the finals, which will be a best of three.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we know that the question marks down there are going to already be filled. It is going to be the same two teams that are going to be playing the game, Reckoning and Aura. And it is a pretty straightforward and simple matchup. while we've seen these two in the past in the Challengers League have a bit of a one-sided story, Reckoning have beaten them pretty convincingly, especially having the fact that they have played the map of Haven and beating them 13-0. It is a map that, you know, against this opponent that Aura might have a little bit of a, I would say, trauma against. So it's going to be difficult. And yeah, well, it is what it is. And now we're going to head into what could be potentially Aura trying to maybe reverse that, try to show that they can do better, because they did show that they've got, you know, great understanding of how to play the game against ROG Academy.
Yeah, they showed a great understanding of how the game is supposed to be played, but there were a couple of changes which we haven't really seen from Aura before. Generally, we see them run the ISO Yoru composition, which is the original Fnatic composition for Haven, but this time they also had a Sova in form of Paradox, which is their coach. They weren't playing with their fifth guy. They were playing with their coach, so maybe a few things will be different with him in the server. And even ROG Academy had to step out of their comfort zones a bit. La Flame and AK Demon, they both had interchanged roles. La Flame was playing as the Sentinel, even though he generally plays as the Duelist. So quite a lot of experiments in the ROG Academy camp as well. So while both these teams tried their best, I'm pretty sure that they can show much better iterations of themselves and much better iterations of Haven in the future.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, given time, this roster is able to do a little bit more damage. And of course, they've got great players. I'm not going to lie. You know, Lavish did really well individually. He had great moments. Following that up, of course, in the first game, La Flame also did decently well as well. So they do have a lot of, you know, good points, but they will do better, of course, if they start playing more as a team. Max, of course, being the IGO, he's pretty young. He's got a lot of experienced players on his team to help him out. So I think he does feel a little bit of pressure of, you know, having to maybe dictate this team. I'm not sure how many times he's IGO'd in the past, but this does seem like a proper unit for him to IGO for the first time. So I feel like even that will take some time to settle in. He's going to have to be a leader and not just have to somebody who's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, it didn't happen. All right, nah. He needs to be somebody who steps up to the mark, who takes control of the game. And we're going to see how that, you know, transpires down for him as well. But RG Academy have shown us a little trinket of what could be possible with these players. Hopefully next time we get to see different maps. You know, I would love to see a Pearl, maybe a
definitely.
Fracture come out from these guys. Haven, yeah, even his, yeah, whatever it is. But you know,
it's a best of one, so like you can kind of understand why they all picked it up. Generally, whenever there's a map hero in a best of 3, you get to see teams try to counter ban each other's you know, the good maps, and maybe sometimes get something out of the way which they don't want to play. But in a best of one, I think everybody just goes for the comfort spots, and that's why all the best of ones that we had in mind that we were supposed to play just Haven, you know, because that's the comfort map in the best of one. But ladies and gentlemen, there will be a bit of a change in plan over here. So the original format of this tournament was 3 best of ones, that teams that, you know, lose both the games will not end up playing the finals. And since ROG Academy has lost both these matches already, the next map, which was supposed to be a best of one between Reckoning and Aura, we're going to skip that because obviously they already have qualified for the finals. So guess what? Instead of the last best of one, we will be jumping directly into the grand finals. We will be going for a best of 3 between Reckoning Esports and Aura Esports. Soon that map will also begin, so we're gonna get these teams to do the veto first. Obviously, I'm very happy that we also won't get to see one more game of Haven, because I'm pretty sure that nobody wants to see the same map over and over again. So universe, we're safe that way. We're safe from Haven. I mean, they might pick it up again in the best of 3, but then in that game, at least we are guaranteed one more match, which is definitely not going to be Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned shortly. We're going to get the veto done. We're going to get these players in the lobby, and we will proceed with the ROG Academy show match. See you on the other side of this break. Hey everybody, welcome back to ROG Academy show match. We are back with the grand finals. Sorry, I apologize. There was a little change in the schedule. We did realize that the format of the tournament was supposed to be three best of ones played between all three of these teams in a round robin format, and the team that is in the top two will proceed to the finals. And since ROG Academy have lost both of their matches, we will be proceeding with the grand finals and skipping that best of one. It's now going to be a best of three fight between Reckoning and Aura. This was a great
Yep.
learning experience for the boys of ROG Academy as well, but unfortunately, they still have plenty of gaps to fill, and hopefully in the next tournament, they'll return much stronger. For now, we have the finals. What do you think about this universe?
Well, I feel like it's going to be quite, the good matchup between these two. Of course, there is a little bit of history, so we're going to have a fight here, that's for sure. As we're going to have the first map be Lotus, and we're going to follow that up with Icebox. So, and if needed, a third of a Pearl. I'm really excited for this because Icebox, map I love. We're going to definitely go on there. But right now on Lotus, which by the way is Aura's pick, they're going to be playing, it seems like, the Raze and Tejo comp, and Deadly's hovering over the Waylay. All right, he did just tell that he misclicked in the previous game. He said he was supposed to take Omen, but he ended up misclicking on Neon. I
Do you
can
believe that,
believe
though?
that because the Neon and Omen are right next to each other.
Hmm. Okay. Sure. If you believe it, I believe him too. But I mean, he was kind of kicking ass on the on the Neon. You know, he was really, really
Yeah.
deadly. It lived up to his name in that case. So yeah, great stuff by him. But now that he's not picking Baylor, this would be quite the cook. Glove on Lotus believable. You know, it's more of a ranked agent. Even after the update, I don't know if the teams have properly adapted to having
Nah,
the Glove in their
Talon
team.
Esports says otherwise, but
Well, Talent can pull it off because you know, they have amazing players to back it up. Primi can pull it off. Can
yeah.
Monier do it? I'm not really sure. We'll wait and see. But Deadly, after hovering on the harbor for just a few seconds, has gone back to the Vele indeed. So yes, we will get a lovely new dive agent.
Well, here it is. We've got Waylay coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got a single duelist this time as compared to a quadruple duelist from the previous time. And it seems like it's a little bit more, you know, head front for Reckoning because they do have a chamber as well. Now, this is something similar to what they usually play on this map of Lotus. It's not the usual, it's not, you know, exactly what they play. If I'm going to just have a quick look at what their last Lotus comp was, they did have a Vise, Breach, Omen, Tejo, and a Yoru. That was the last comp they played on this map. And it's been not, yeah, it's been pretty successful, but it's always okay. To put it this way, in the last 5 times they've played Lotus,
Hmm.
4 of those have gone to overtime,
Oh,
and
interesting.
all of them have been 14-12.
With them winning, right? Or losing?
3 of them they won 14-12. One of them like they lost 14-12, and then one they lost 13-8.
Hmm. Okay. So even though they've gone for a more sensible competition, I think these folks are still playing with some of these gold droppers. And yeah, Deadly 10 with that giant shot there and a massive amount of bravery diving all the way in towards the back of the site. TP's back, but Munir is going to take the front. Dodges the stealth drone, walks right past it, gets the kill onto Prime as well. 4v4. The shock dart also delivers on yet another striking blow.
Oh, Tricky gets one, gets away as well. The nade's not going to touch anybody there, and Romeo's going to find Paradox coming in from the main side, and that's going to be Reckoning with a pretty convincing and strong pistol round to take on this A site. Here we go.
Good first round by Reckoning. Pretty clean execute towards the A side. There wasn't much resistance towards Rubble from Aura anyway, so they do kind of take the right bet, take the right pathing, and get their way into the A side. And they already had quite a lot of deep control. You know, you had players all the way up in heaven towards drop as well, so quite a lot of ground covered by Reckoning, and Aura could not really do much. Again, they will be facing similar odds, while they have gone for a much more aggressive Rubble setup, with the missiles also coming in. Romeo wasn't quite safe from the missiles just yet, but he TP's back to safety. Nice shot connected. Paradox plucked off mid-air, and Deadly's already invaded the C site.
Yeah, Romeo's going to have to just kind of go back, but he's going to get another free shot. Disconnected onto Prime, and that's going to be him going down. Another one. Okay, no scope. Disconnect, and here comes the cavalry to support their team as Reckoning will be taking in round number 2 with just a little bit of a downside. The Outlaw's been recovered, though. That's not going to be too much of a problem. 2-0, and here comes the first buy round from the defensive side.
Yeah, this first buy round better strike the mark. So far, they haven't really shown any presence on Mound, and Reckoning, they are also kind of ignoring that area. So while the Killjoy can place their setup on the B side of the turret, Alarm Bot and Nano Swarms on C side, they can kind of play passive over here. Rubble focus once again. This time the Gadget Salvo slows them down, but Roboxfer, he gets the pick onto Deadly. Deadly had already dived in towards Rubble, so he gets shot down, and that's an early man advantage for Aura.
Oh, the smoke to cover off the turret, but he gets in. Moner has to just kind of reluctantly go in towards C-Link. No, he's going to jump out. The flash is going to discourage him even further, but Enzy's going to have to give it up. He doesn't know that somebody's close. The run and gun not going to be good enough. The Vandals will strike. their way. Outlaw, just connect one. Maybe a second. No, Paradox is going to dodge it. He's going to come up close. And he knows he has to fight here. BGG will get taken down. Romeo pulls out the Headhunter. He will not be touching any heads, that's for sure, as Reckoning will concede the first round to Aura. Decent amount of damage, but Aura held that B side pretty well.
Aura did hold it pretty well. They didn't really force the issue too much, but when they had to, when they absolutely had to get the kill, Paradox did push in. And he also managed to fall back in time, play along with Homeboy so that their trades are intact. But when Monir was the first one to dive in, they kind of ignored him for a bit. They dinked him, but didn't really go out of their way to get the kill on him, forcing Monir to come and fight them more aggressively, and then they killed him. So quite a lot of discipline shown by Reckoning in that situation. Oh, Reckoning diving through. Takes a lot of damage from the Nano Swarm and still dies. NZ holding the off angle, lets MF go across. And Homeboy, he's got his opponent very low, tries to go in for the pre-fire, and the trades come through. Great flash, but tricky with a double. And this push is being stopped in its tracks. At least it was up until all the members of Aura just fell apart.
Wow. Deadly. Last man left alive. That crosshair is not making it easy for him, but he's still gonna try. 5 bullets on this one. Gonna find a timing. Oh, he's gonna try and do it with the 3 bullets that he has left. Does not want to reload at all. 1 bullet and a dream. He wants to go for it. Bit of a fake here from Prime. Still plays it. Ah, Deadly just sprays him down. Last couple of seconds there. Prime just kind of running around too much there. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do. Going back and forth between Waterfall. Just maybe could have just held on for a couple of seconds. Or rotated towards spawn.
Plenty of options available over there. They didn't choose to exercise them at all. And Aura paid the price for it. But they still fought towards C quite aggressively. They didn't really show any presence on that side of the map at all. And Reckoning were very focused on B and Rubble up until now. But when they finally do show their presence, they get whatever they want. In response, Aura do a double push out of Mound this time. But no resistance towards a Rubble, and that's exactly what Reckoning want. They will be very happy with this setup.
Oh, okay, here comes the Odin to try and trade off what the op couldn't do. He needs to get away from there. He's gonna still hold on. Romeo, really lucky to be alive, just stuck in his corner. The trap's gonna make it easier for him. He's not, yeah, he's got no idea. The Odin's up close, it takes him out. Deathly's gone as well. The reload comes in, and Moner's just playing with his food. The final man left, Prime. 1v1 once again, and this time it's gonna be Moner with the crosshair to take him out. Both times, unfortunately, it seemed a little lost on them. They bring it close, Aura, but they're not able to finish things off. 1-4.
Yeah, they had the right idea. They know that the Rubble area is very difficult to fight on, so they're taking space where they can do it. They're pushing Mount quite early, and the backstab also arrived in time. Technically, Reckoning was kind of pinched over there for a second, but they just fight their way out. They brawl it through, and they strike through. Reckoning with 4th. They will kind of force Aura to be on the back foot just for a bit. Slightly inferior by, but they still have a say in this round. A triple B stack. MF God will be in for a surprise.
Well, clears off the close angles, does get information that he can actually get at least into the C site. But on the other side of things, NZ's going to be able to take out BGG. Door's been opened. They're going to have a little bit of resistance here. An ultimate committed as well to clear off that B main side. A lot of commitment here from the defensive side. Aura have shunned in too much pretty early on, and there's still under a minute left on the clock. Romeo hoping that this op can find one angle. Deadly's going to look for one towards B as well. Smoke goes down to keep him out. Prime's going to ditch in a lot of damage. He's gone at 33. And a body block that Deadly is not happy about.
At least he's alive. 1 bullet away from that. Romeo looks for an opening. Can't find one. Homeboy delivers. The rest of them now kind of trapped in towards
30
B.
seconds left.
The guy himself forces a peek out of Deadly, and he delivers. It's up to the op. That also has been dealt with. Great shot by Tricky. Yeah, you can't really go for a face check on the stun over
no
there.
way.
Moner supposed
What
both
is
of them
R
down.
doing? How are they going in one by one for these peaks? All the 3 kills that happened there are individual fights. They just went in one by one by one. I'm not sure why. And somehow, even after all of this, Deadly's the one who's alive.
Oh, can't dodge the recon. Sprayed down. Paradox. He was kind of stuck in a difficult situation over there. But yeah, the one-on-one fights, they are a bit jarring to look at.
Yeah, it didn't seem like to be the case in the previous game. One popping out of heaven, one coming in from C-Link, and then again another one from heaven. It should have been a double swing in the first place itself from the heaven and the Link guy. But hey,
Yeah.
it's mistakes being committed. It's mistakes they can learn from. And if they learn it soon enough, maybe they can kind of, recover this half. But oh my god, a dashing Waylay, and he will go back straight to his death for some reason.
Oh yeah, Deadly bought enough of a distraction to let the op shine through and get a kill. But even then, man advantage has been neutralized. Op bullet whizzing past NZ. His life spared for now. Paradox has a stun at the ready. He's hoping for a contact from NZ so that he can let it rip. And it comes through. Gets BGG. Stops reckoning in their tracks for just a second, but this Thrash will re-clear almost everything. TP's out of there to escape, and Paradox takes a massive risk. Tries to dive out with the Marshall, but will be punished by Moner.
Okay, well, it seems like they're going against themselves now. I pretty clearly saw BGG self-inflict that Thrash onto Tricky. And Romeo, while he will be able to clean off any stragglers here, Prime being one of them, NZ will be having to be a prey for... Never mind, I was going to say Tricky, but he still got BGG as well. And it somehow come down to a 1v2.
Enemy remaining.
He works it for one. Romeo picks up the Vandal. Firing shot, warning him that he's got a Vandal now. Don't come and fight me here. Gets into the angle at the right time. The smokes. Gonna keep him busy. Doesn't expect him to come up close, but he will stabilize the aim. And the spray connects. Unfortunately for NZ, he was far too low. And that's gonna be number 6 for Reckoning.
Reckoning pulled through despite the odds that they are inflicting upon themselves. That teammate Thrash, that was personal, man. That was definitely personal. Felt like a bunch of grief, but Romeo still perseveres. It's almost like he's playing a 1v7 here.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, BGG did Thrash stun his own teammate.
Yeah.
So, like, oh, okay. It seems like we're okay now. We're okay. I see why they're doing this. It's nice game plan. They're throwing aura off so much by doing team damage to make them think that they're fighting against themselves, and then they go ahead and do stuff like this.
Oh, great ultimate though. Everybody
Oh my
caught
God,
in
he hit his own
slow-mo.
teammate. Prime hit it. What is happening in this game?
Paradox just keeps getting stunned.
Oh my God.
Again and again. This is the 3rd time he's been stunned. Somehow still alive. I have no idea what lucky stars he's been playing to. Aftershock and the guided salvo, both of them to flush Deadly out. And now you've got Roboxer on the flank. Finally something to box them in.
He's still pretty far off though. He's really slowly taking his approach. It might be a little too late for him to come here, because that trap is still holding on. Moner is taking out one. The trades coming through. Roboxers come from the backstab, and he finally strikes. Romeo, no eyes, no vision, just dead. 2 and 6, and that what just happened outside of C Mound should not be talked about anymore. We move on.
Agreed. I'm gonna ignore that conveniently. You have to admire Aura though. Holding on to see so much. Paradox also feeling a bit of that grief damage. He was stunned thrice in that round. Slowed down by the Waylay ultimate as well. And yet he holds on. They don't budge an inch or are refusing to give up. Ooh, this is a bit of a different setup. Stun, Paranoia, and the nade. No guided salvo this time. It goes a bit deeper rather. But still, NZ manages to find the frag onto Deadly.
There.
Prime. Oh, he hears it. He's gonna stun on contact and take a swing, but BGG's just ready. Flash taken out. Now they're gonna have to swing out as a trio. He will manage to get one there, Paradox. And his teammate just taps him out of existence. NZ, once again, standing strong, finding 3. As customary to one of his previous rounds as well. 3 to 6, and slowly but surely, Aura finding the footing to climb back into this first half.
The footing and the clawing, all of that shooting is just so beautiful. Lovely double kill from NZ. Quick taps and he stops RG in their tracks. Romeo and Tricky, they gotta start taking this a little more seriously. Of course, the peak from Romeo this time was good. Even the spacing between them was pretty good. And yet, NZ managed to tap them both out.
Oh, here goes the ultimate. They do clear out C completely, and Romeo's trying to maybe take a peek on him, and he takes him down. There's going to be a trade, though. Paradox able to find one, but he's got no more utility. And here goes BTG, but straight up gives up his dead. Deadly for the trade once again.
2 HP. He did make that dive towards A-Link, though, and then instantly TP'd back out. Once again, Moner taking quite a lot of damage. Very stubborn to go and fight, and Prime will punish him for that.
Deadly. 2 HP. Gonna go through this for some reason. Spots one. Gets back. Here comes the guy that's salvo. That's gonna give them a little bit of space. Nope. Romeo adamant to hold on to that drop angle, and he is going to be wrong. Great shot from Prime and a great follow-up from Homeboy as well. 4 rounds in a row for Aura as they just keep making on the mistakes of what Reckoning's been committing.
Yeah, capitalize on every single misstep. I did feel the lockdown commitments was a little too early. You had a whole minute left on the clock in order, already had the lockdown deployed on A. Yes, it did slow down Reckoning, but they could have gone anywhere else. It's not like they were boxed in, it's not like they didn't have openings. But still, Reckoning also are being really stubborn right now, so Aura will be very happy to stop them if they keep pushing stubbornly like this.
Prime. Let's get spotted. Tagged. Great shot from him, but here goes Deadly. The trade-off's gonna come in to Moner, but for Boxifer, he's got the aim and he makes it stay. Trade-off once again, but he's alone and he's got 3 more to kill. A Thrash available, but there's gonna come a flash his way. Doesn't matter. Turns around. The Paradox still good enough for the kill. 5 and 6. Aura have now come in closer to just 1 round of a deficit.
Great pinch by Aura. Stalwartly holding on to the C side, even though there was so much happening from the side of Reckoning. That dive in from Deadly, it really distracted Prime, because obviously you can't track a Waylay moving like that with an op. Great help from his teammate as well. Even the Hunter's Fury was committed just to make things a little harder for Aura. But then they instantly open the B door and they pinch Reckoning from both the directions. Lovely stuff.
The Boxifer. Focus on the aim first. Recon destroyed later. Here goes the Thrash. Could be broken. It almost catches him. Gets away just by the edge of it, and Deadly gonna fall right back. Tricky's made his way through though. He's on rubble. Flash comes through. So much util being exchanged here. A lot of kills as well, but it's gonna be mostly Aura. Prime getting 2. The Boxifer getting the 3rd. There goes the 4th. No, it's gonna be more of the trade, but still a 1v3.
Oh, what a fight, man. This was a straight up slugfest universe. Both these teams absolutely stubborn. They keep throwing bodies, they keep throwing util. There was just so much happening, and Reckoning still continue pouring out of that tiny choke point. Aura also did really well to hold their tracks, maintain that strong stalwart aura of theirs about them, make it glow, make it pop. Finally, a 6 all half. It was quite a strong start from Reckoning, you know, only relinquishing the buy round to their opponents and then winning 4 straight after that.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, Aura persevere 5 rounds in a row. Of course, you have to attribute a little bit of that, you know, things being made easy by Reckoning because they
Yeah.
obviously had a little bit of internal beef going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
now
were
it
trying
seems
to
like
kill
they've
each
woken
other
up.
first.
Yeah.
That's
But now it
the-
looks
that's
like
the
they've
main thing.
woken up, right?
I mean, now if they haven't woken up now, they might as well sleep forever. Just don't try anymore. I would say. Yeah. You're done. Okay. 1 kill from the Boombot, and Deathly's gonna go all the way back towards Waterfall. And he's gonna
Right
get
call.
chased here, and he's
Oh.
gonna get taken out as well. Yeah, Enzi. Gonna make it easy. Mona's gonna hear the plant, but Tricky's gonna be the first
Standing.
contact,
Spike
and
planted.
Enzi just absolutely slaps him straight to the face.
Kind of ironic how Deadly fell back, escaping certain death with all those players around him, and still chose to repick as the smoke faded. So, Universe, are you still a fan of the Frenzy after this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends on the day, you know. Yeah, there's a day when it's a frenzy day. Usually it's on a Tuesday. Today's
Ah,
Tuesday, so if I
yes.
try to play a frenzy today, it should work.
Hmm.
Well, the other day is probably Saturday, you know, when you got Premier game. So
Ah.
the worst day to play a frenzy is probably Friday. Never play frenzy on a Friday.
It seems to me like the day of the week matters less and the stakes matters more. Like,
No. Just the day of the week for sure.
all right.
Yeah.
Superstition confirmed. Oh, nice bait setup. BGG still hasn't revealed themselves. They're still focusing on the chamber. And he goes unchecked. 2 frags, easy for him. And he's got
Oh
himself
my
a lovely
God.
Standing.
triple with the Sheriff. Romeo follows up with a headhunter as well. And in all of this, Enzi finds himself a tiny gap. But that gap has been accounted for. Left at 10 HP. A bullet away from death. He's got a foot in the grave already.
Call it a bait and switch and make a killing like a witch. That is exactly what was done here by MF God. BGG, whatever you want to call him. Enzi he's just taking a tour across the map, it seems. I'm gonna explore new places, go back and forth. And okay, Romeo. Alright. Cool. Nice nice setup there.
Stylish
Enzi.
setup there.
Absolutely. Enzi, 10 HP.
30 seconds
I don't know what
left.
he's trying to achieve here, but it's definitely. Oh, the spot! He missed.
Cover going out.
10 HP. This guy's still trying to do what exactly?
I mean, it's not like he's got much to do.
Okay, fine. I'll take that. You know what? There, that's what he's trying to do. Take one more weapon off of them. I'll take it. I'll take it. I like the
Relevant.
I like the
Yeah.
transitions. You know, wide open. You know, it's the usual the PowerPoint transitions we see back from 2012.
Try 2004.
The door opening. The door opens. Zing.
And the elephant looks quite disappointed.
By whom though?
I think disappointed at the attempt to salvage all those weapons, perhaps? I mean, that elephant is wearing an iPad, so yeah.
Oh, he's Brimstone's little friend.
Does he have a name?
I don't know. What's something you would associate with Brimstone? No, okay.
Spike down.
For the
Attacker
moment, let's focus on Romeo and Deadly. He's put in a slow that does help him. Gets one. And Reckoning are just kind of playing with emotions here. They've trapped him outside of C. Deadly getting a little too ambitious for his own good. Mona should head back. He shouldn't. Yeah, I told you. I told you. He should head back. Now this has become a doable 3v2.
Chance given to them. Tricky opens the door, offering another opportunity. Peeks,
enemy remaining.
and even though it's a bit labored, he connects it.
Ooh.
Nice shot by Paradox. He's got himself a escape route now. He can hightail it towards the A side, run as fast as his
30
heavy metal
seconds
feet
left.
can carry him.
Yeah, Tricky's getting ahead of him though. Unfortunately for Paradox, He might just get caught out here. Does check it, but he's not quick to the trigger there. Not as quick as Tricky, at least. It's gonna be 7 and 8 as Reckoning. I don't know what the hell that round was. They pushed B, they pushed C. They went back, they pushed B again. Crippled them, lost 2 players in the 5v3. Then another, and then they won the round.
Not to mention the siege that was laid down over there, which felt so long and dragged out. I mean, that's the point of a siege, you know, you sweat your opponent out. Force them to chew through their own resources, and well, there was no literal starvation over here. Quite a lot of patience was required. Nice nade, should force Deadly out, but he dives deeper in, and then TP's back to safety. On the other side, BGG gets an opening. Homeboy's been taken down. NZ tears through the B side, and TP's deep in. And now he's got into the backlines. This entire defense has been split up. BGG forced to use the trash just to re-clear B, and he gets Paradox.
Well, Paradox is safe. He does have a smoke cover. And BGG is just trying to keep them busy on the B side. Make sure that the pressures kept active. Or boxer for a dog. Reloaded the wrong time. But does get information, which Paradox could use. And there's a trade. Paradox does have the aftershock. The stun's coming in. But it seems like NZ just wants to walk around, give a bit of an opening to Reckoning himself. He's like, I'm going to just go for a free peek myself and give myself away. Deadly's been spotted. While he has no more utility left, he does have a flank. This time, no knife either. I don't know why this guy just does not shoot. Why does he just not shoot?
One enemy remaining.
Nice freebie. Great util kill. BGG taps the spike, one bullet away, and Prime's got it. Yeah, Prime had a lot of heavy lifting to do over there. First, you have your teammates giving away kills all the way down literal to its spawn. Like, outside of Waterfall. You're connecting to the spawn, you're dying over there so deep inside enemy territory. So Prime has to then hold on, use the drone in a very risky position, get the info, keep himself alive towards that broken door, and wait for Paradox to make his move, who, even after taking his sweet time, doesn't strike first. Hesitates. I don't know if that's hesitation or if that's greed. I'm pretty sure it's greed.
I'm pretty sure it's greed too. This is greed as well from Romeo. Greed, good at certain moments, definitely not with a chamber, my friend. And here he comes, so Boxer goes back, waits for his teammates.
Oh my god!
And what in the world is happening here? These are professional players, by the way.
Armageddon at the ready. Should be able to pressure Reckoning quite a lot. Okay, finally gets it.
I'm just gonna keep quiet and watch what the hell's happening now.
Yeah. Moment of silence for our fallen comrade. Nice dive in and Robot bites the bait.
Are you kidding?
Guardian up close, run and gun. I don't even know what is happening anymore, Universe. He spots him, ignores him, tries to fight both at the same time. Monar is looking everywhere. He's on top of them, he's below them, and he's just running around, playing chase, playing tag, and he actually gets them.
Why in God's name would you split up in that moment when both of you are low in a 1v2? Why would you decide to split up?
I'll tell you, we should win.
And I'm out of the 9 kills that happened in that round, 7 of them were run and guns. Everybody's just running with the Vandal. Everybody's just running with the Phantom. Deadly's running with a Guardian.
Just by singles at this point.
Boy, oh boy.
Interesting round, no?
Interesting is like the least, is the worst word I would
It's the
use,
mildest adjective I can use. The most lukewarm take, the most lukewarm adjective. But that was a spicy one. Good shot by Romeo. Deadly wants to push the envelope even further. Bucky at that range, yeah, not happening. TP's out of there, but Romeo's got the right weapons. He's got the goods.
Spike down, C.
Yeah, it's just a setup though. He just wanted to get Romeo up close to use his tour de force. Homeboy's gonna be the only one who finds a kill in this, and there goes the ultimate. They want to make him suffer, and he's gonna take a no-scope at that as well. Quite a bit of commitment here from Deadly. Wants to feel a little powerful, it seems, against one poor little homeboy. Wants to make him feel homesick. Deadly, you bully. Throwing an ultimate for just one little killjoy with the sheriff, you monster.
He's an absolute demon.
No, not in terms of game. He's at the bottom of the scoreboard right now, so he just did that for a kill. But in other sense, he's yeah. See, he's 11 and 12. Should be
I guess I guess I do have a bone to pick with the etymology of the word demon. Like when you usually say it, he's a demon. Yeah, it feels like a compliment, but yeah, I was referring to his sinister intent.
Yeah, same, yeah. Oh, if you meant it that way, then yes, he's a
No,
demon.
that was my bad. You were right. You did point out that he's currently at the bottom of the scoreboard, but then again, it's not like he's at his A game. This could be a lovely shot. Doesn't matter, but he's gonna get out of there. So still, man advantage not given away any further.
Come on, Deadly, give it a fight, man. What are you on about? Oh, the ult? No, I mean, there's a slow there. Oh, he does throw in. Tricky gets one as well, right through the wall. Of course it does. Moner is gonna get away from the door, clears off the entirety of the main. There's a flash that kind of stops him out, though. Paradox, a lot of trouble, but the stun ain't gonna be one. He gets one. Trade comes through. Moner's trying to keep it alive here. He needs to fight the player on site, but he's got to flank the teammates. Just not popping out of the smoke. Tricky gets him finally. Moner's playing for the informational bait, and here comes the jump through, and it's gonna be the dust and the end for Prime. 11-8 as RGE again. Just ridiculous rounds, one after the other. I don't know what the hell is happening, but it's just going on, and we're here for it.
Yeah, absolutely here for it. They're putting on a show. Really taking the show in the show match seriously over here. Quite flashy, setting themselves up for stylish kills rather than safe, calculated kills. And it's still working out for them. Hey, if you can flex and win at the same time, I would say absolutely go for it.
Yeah, alright, well, they're going for an interesting buy here. There is a hero Vandal on the box for somehow he's the only one who's got a Vandal, but he doesn't have armor. A good attack from Tricky, and a better one from Deadly. Gets away with one, but unfortunately he will be traded off before he can refract back. BGG constantly pushing C. He's pushed C 100 times, and nobody somehow is able to fight him and kill him there.
Yeah.
Aura clearly have no aura towards that C site. They just nothing.
Lost it. Oh, and now it's a spam battle. Yeah, Chamber does wear a stylish pair of glasses, but it doesn't grant him X-ray. You know what it does grant him? Buys enough time for BGG to come back.
I can smell a knife. I can smell a knife.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, does it connect? Nope.
No, I didn't.
Still alive. Still has the guided salvo. Should be able to use that to isolate one fight, but he gets overwhelmed with the Gekko utility. Mosh, the wingman, everything thrown at him.
Match point. Keep doing what we're doing, and we got it.
Just playing a bit of a pet game over here. Letting his little friends get in on the action too.
Well, it's come down to the final one, and I'm pretty sure that Reckoning are glad it's come to this point, because they now have an op to just finish things off, and Romeo's going to be keen to use it towards C, and that's exactly where they're going to fight him. Romeo, I hope you're not greedy this time. I know you've got a full kit of gold. My god, you don't need more. You don't need more, my man. You don't need more. He's greedy, and he will pay the price for it.
Doesn't even
Full
get to meet his Juliet. So they get the site, they get the plant.
Spike
Yeah, full kit
planted.
of gold. This guy still wants to keep going and trying for more. Okay, Deadly, what in the... Okay. That was great.
That was
okay.
a info updraft, bro. Info updraft. Keep up with the meta now. He's gonna fight isolated towards waterfall. So that Raze is gonna get the fight.
Oh, here we go.
Not again.
Mona's gonna teach Paradox how to knife. Here we go. Oh,
starts
just kill him. Just kill him. Just kill him,
At
please.
this point, it's
Just
a
kill him.
chase.
Please, please kill him. Just kill him, please.
What happens on the site is
There we go.
irrelevant. This knife is what matters the most. Doesn't matter if they're almost on the defuse. Doesn't matter if the lockdown's been put up. This
Are
is
you
a
kidding me?
Hail Mary attempt now.
No charges.
They can still
One
stick with
enemy
defuse, right?
remaining.
Yeah, Mona, no, never mind. He's gonna die to the salvo, and Entity will die to the spike as well. Really scuffed round here, but they get by without having to use the Armageddon. So that's one victory, but the bigger victory in my eyes was, of course, the knife. Teaching how to make knives happen, courtesy of Moner. Paradox, please listen and learn. This is how you should knife. Don't touch a wall. You know?
Just wanted to sharpen his knife against that wall first. You know how they do it, like traditional, professional sword makers,
Yo,
whatever they call it, blacksmiths.
I was gonna get so angry at this kid now.
He's so
But
greedy.
Go ahead. Stand your ground.
Alright, they get away from the Armageddon, but here comes one more in the name of an Armageddon. And somehow he's killed. Oh my! I'm done.
I'm done. No, hell no. There's no way that just happened.
Paradox does get double though. Paradox does get a double, and
Player standing.
they've lost another. Okay.
Spike planted.
I thought the game was over there.
No.
They're still going at it, bro.
Well, Aura's gonna keep themselves alive a little bit with a touch of RGE, trying to kill each other. Prime wanted to just make his teammates' lives a little harder, as NZ is gonna go for the hunt now. He might end up finding BGG here, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't check that angle. It's a completely off angle. Oh, he does check it actually. Okay, that's interesting. He does check that angle. 10 to 12. It is gonna be a little bit closer than Reckoning expected, but for a second, Prime did make their lives easier. Where Boxifer missed his satchels and walked into the goddamn bomb of doom running towards him, and he just stood there and was like, okay, you know what, he actually went along with it, you know. If he had actually gone past across the Armageddon, he would have lived with probably 36 HP. But no, he took 2 steps back and took more damage. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna actually die to my own teammate here.
I mean, at that point, just use the showstopper on yourself. At least it will propel you forward. Nice shot by Romeo. Finally, his greed pays off. He's been trying this for like the last 2 rounds. Finally finds a little bit of success. But now the site's gonna get carpet bombed. Paranoia, aftershock. Oh, but no, the teleport still doesn't get punished. Great reveal. Could have been a lovely triple kill. NZ was dodging something, looking at the wall. I don't know, maybe he expected another flash or something, but he gets killed nonetheless. And after doing all of that on the C side, they're gonna try to hightail it towards the A side, where Deadly is already waiting for them.
Yeah, but he does have only a sheriff though. No refact either, so it's just gonna be the light speed here. If he wants to do something absolutely crazy, he should now just dash up twice. Look straight up, 90 degree. Yeah, now look straight up. Yeah, look straight up. Go on, look straight up. Yeah, there we go. Good man. No, turn around. He gets it. No way. Okay, he at least gets a bit of damage on it. Mona's here. Has a Vandal. Has some medal as well, but he's got no idea about where these players are. The ultimate goes to cover off the main side. It does not touch Tricky, but it does cover off one.
Ooh.
The trade is there, and it's all up to Homeboy, and he will fall down. He will fall down. It's gonna be 13 to 12 as Romeo just gives them a little bit of a
Pleasant greeting.
Yeah, great. Yeah, season's greeting just for that. He's gonna give them, you know, a goodbye message, and finishes it up 13 to 10 as we will be heading back to our faces.
That was quite the experience, yeah, Universe. Very interesting game, very entertaining. Hands down, the most entertaining thing I've seen in 2025 when it comes to Valorant being played at the highest level.
Wow, you must have a really boring experience with Valorant to call that entertaining. But okay, I give it to you. It was entertaining in the sense that what is going on, of course. You know, I don't know what the hell these teams were doing. A lot of times where, of course, they try to kill each other. So in that sense, yes, you know, own team bonding happening with mollies going on, and you're throwing shock darts at each other. And then, of course, Aura joining that meant, but okay, let's start it all the back. We've got, of course, Lotus, which was Aura's pick, going against them 13 to 10. And it almost seemed like Reckoning were giving a bit of a try, but it wasn't really fully there. Because, of course, it was, again, a full roster that had a complete change in terms of what they wanted to play. It went from a quadruple duelist to a single duelist, and that single duelist was just running up and down in places where it almost seemed like Deadly. The informational dashes were probably the best thing I saw from him today.
which is quite the paradox, right? Like the whole point of having a Vele on your team and having it being different from the Jet is that, like, this is what the developers say. The Jet, it can look around when she's dashing, so she can clear close up angles while she's in the middle of a dash. But Vele can't do that, so like the Vele will end up dashing in that direction. So it's a little harder for the Vele to do so on paper. But if you play like Deadly was playing it today, yeah,
Mhm.
that's an info updraft.
Well, I don't know if I would call it info. I don't even know if I would call it an updraft. It was something, but it was definitely okay. Classify it as info updraft. We've got another game coming up now, and this time it's going to be Icebox. So, RGE, what have you cooked up here? Last season, they were called Icebox Esports just because they were winning only Icebox maps in 2024. Is that going to be a comeback this time? We're going to find out because this is the first Icebox they're going to be playing in any form of capacity for that matter. Reyna, Whaley, Raze, Jet, what are you going to be playing, Deadly? We'll find out.
Yoru.
As I'm excited to see this Reckoning squad again try and work things up. Or maybe, if at all, even if Aura are like, you know what? Why are we doing this? Just say screw it and go for another triple duelist ourselves. Just make it a full, colorful show match. Or I would rather say, you see one of those Demon 1 clips as well, right? Where he got
Huh?
the nade, the ultimates, the
Oh, that
brimstone,
one.
all of that. Yeah. I would love it if that happened as well. Get a Sova, Breach, Tejo. Well, I'm saying all of this, but they're already starting to pick. So I'm just gonna continue babbling on because I like
Mhm.
to babble and I get paid to do it. So yeah. So Breach, Tejo. What else throws a lot of utility? Sova, Brimstone. I don't know. Raise, throw it all.
I would love to see a Yoru from NZ. I love playing Yoru on Icebox. I'm probably the only one who likes that. Not
Man,
many
the
people would.
Neon is the best agent on Icebox. Come on.
True, true, true. Of course, of course. Uh, I'm a
I
bit of a
like
speed
I like the
enthusiast myself.
way Yoru can cut through, like because you can throw in a TP. I've seen from
Hmm.
the attacker spawn all the way to Snowman, right? So that's a really interesting way to kind of maneuver out through. But the way that you can actually run on that ace side with the Neon when you go on top of pipes and then you jump on top of 410 and then you can go on top of screens as well. Really, really good.
I would love to see some teleport action. I love playing Omen and Yoru on Icebox. There's quite a lot of tiny angles that you can get yourselves in and out of. Obviously, much better to play as a Yoru because like his escape is way better than Omen's. But even then, the elevation can really make a difference for both of these characters, especially for Omen. So I'm a bit of a teleport enthusiast myself.
Hmm.
Love the Neon as well, but I don't play Neon on Icebox often, so I can't be one of those guys who can do supreme movement and have that. There's a typical movement song.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get
On
it.
top,
Yep. I get it. Yeah. Well, let's see if Deadly. Of course, he's been pretty much the movement god. He did that in the first game as well. He loves his Neon. He's. I'm pretty sure he's misclicked it again. Probably going for I don't know. What's next to Neon on the other side? What's an agent name from M? Do we have an agent from the letter M?
yeah, question right now.
No. Yeah. What do we have? K O K L M M.
Well,
Do we have a agent from M? I
I
mean,
don't
okay.
think so.
I couldn't be asked. I couldn't be asked. Let's just move on. The spikes in spawn right now not being picked up. It seems like they just want to go kill. They don't care about the spike at the moment. As Zinx is walking with his knife for some reason in round number 1 in the first 10 seconds. And he gets absolutely destroyed.
And Munir is already behind them. Easy frag onto Paradox, puts up a smokes and gets back into cover. Yeah, this is clearly a go kill mission. Spike plant is secondary. Kills are mandatory. Moner gets a second. And now finally Deadly realizes, hey guys, we got the side. What do we do with this? So there's a explosive device called the spike.
Isn't it surprising that the duelists of the defense are alive? towards the end. Both the duelists are alive. Everybody else is dead. The first contacts are alive. And okay,
Oof,
Enzy's
not
gonna at
anymore.
least, make use of it. He does get one more on yellow, and seems like BGG's kind of,
Spike planted.
yeah, he's gonna give him a bit of a touch, isn't he?
Yep. Just a little smooch at the forehead. Marked in red.
Last player
Deadly.
standing.
Trying to be better at movement. Gets blocked off by Prime nonetheless. Now NZ's got 2 to find. He knows where one of these guys is. Still doesn't. He spotted him over here, right? He dinked him.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, he just wasn't quick enough to understand that he should be aiming in that direction and shooting as well. Reckoning find the pistol. That's going to give them, well, another round for sure. Maybe a third because they've been pretty good in the bonus pushes. But, yeah, you were saying. All right. Yeah, okay. It seems like Crips has had a bit of a disconnection issue, and we're gonna just get back to the map here as the A side has been right now played with the defense, so they're gonna hold on. I want to keep it as infectious as possible with defensive duties, and here he goes, just sliding straight through. He's playing a menacing role right now, but does get traded off. Moner with one more, Enzy's gonna grab another one, and that's gonna be the A side actually kind of shut down. Spike once again retrieved back as it was left unspawned, but the B side's been opened up. BGG takes in aggressively towards that tunnel side, and nobody from the defense is aware. They do have weapons. A judge. Yeah, I mean, at this range, I wouldn't say anybody's going to be able to good enough to use it, but they do have a Vandal and Paradox. And Romeo's found Enzy on the flank, and he's just going to hold that angle. The Guardian's going to guard him. Nope, it isn't. Paradox, 1 HP. So is Sinks. Last time held a knife in his hand. This time, make sure you hold the gun, my boy. You're going to need it.
One enemy remaining.
And the running gun's not going to save you either way because he goes both directions. It seems like Tricky can swing both ways. Goes to the left, goes towards right, and he gets away with 2. Two and 0. We've got Reckoning on a decent amount of buy here. They've got 4 Vandals, so they're going to be pretty happy with how this round goes down. Deadly's not bought it. Okay, he's got the Judge. There we go. Called in the Judge. Prime does hear the teleport. And Moner's going to be playing mind games here. Could escape, but so much attention being drawn from him. Sinks. He's going to be able to take one. Does get away from there as well. And Paradox ready for Moner. The 4 Vandals not good enough for Reckoning, but it does award them the ace site. Nothing more. Gambo's gonna give away his life. Forgive me, no. Paradox is gonna give away his life. That's tricky. Down to 18 HP. 1 bullet and a dream. That's all he needs. But it's gonna be delivered to him instead, it seems. Yep, Sinks is gonna take him out. Romeo in the 1v4, 30 HP. It's a big one, but it's not gonna be good enough for him to take home. First round for Aura on the map of Icebox, and nothing too special, just in casual Reckoning giving away their positions and rounds one by one.
Need a drop.
Tricky. Now looking to initiate towards the A site, most likely. He does have Deadly once again with that Judge, and Moner's picked up a Stinger, so this is a bit of a scrappy buy here. And BGG gonna stick to his sheriff duties and gonna make sure that nobody is acting funny on that B site. Gonna once again try and explore it. And he's gonna actually get some room as well to get away because the rotations already being made through. Romeo gets one. Prime get the trade. The flash doesn't matter because Tricky just could not find his aim. The Stinger's gonna do enough damage, and he does TP in on top. Gambo is in an awkward position, and he goes straight to town as well. Oh, it's been hard here. NZ not looking in his direction for some reason, but still able to find that kill. And that's gonna be a 2 versus 2. And Reckoning, well, they fall back as the Viper already has the B side in hand.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, catches him on the
Spike
cross.
down, attacker spawn.
Heads on a swivel, spike on the ground. And he should force the fight with BGG as well.
Standing.
Oh my goodness, lovely shot by BGG. Can the Jet get here in time? He's going the long way around. Brain games have already begun for NZ. He must have been thinking that the Viper must have crossed. And BGG, on the other hand, is trying to force the fight. But doesn't find him, so
30
he'll just
seconds left.
go down the regular route, recover the spike.
I have the spike.
Well, he's playing around with the idea of going towards A. Unfortunately, he's going to hold his knife in his hand, and he's going to get tap, 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 tap. Again, one more. No? Okay. He's just going to get tapped 7 times.
6 of them posthumously. NZ
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he enjoyed those 6 more than the first one.
Agreed, agreed. I came back right in time to watch that TP from Munar. Would have been lovely if he picked this timing, you know, surprised them after the smoke had faded away. They wouldn't have expected him on top. But he drops down, takes 15 damage while doing so, and then misses his spray. Great elevation. Sinks up close, one on top. Overstays his welcome, but NZ gets the frag onto Tricky, so that's good. Oh my god, he's really overstayed his welcome. Still survives. The burst from the classic helps him get through, but Wilbur has already stuck his TP. He's been accounted for. NZ swings again, gets a bit greedy, and finally gets put to rest by BGG.
Give me those back.
Oh my god.
Last player
The Odin not going to connect. Too many angles, too much verticality. And that's going to be the round for Reckoning.
Race it to the spike sites.
Great round. Great push through. Even though they lost the advantage and they couldn't capitalize on the frag with Sinks, gave their lives away, they still managed to recover it back somehow. Now, I can't help but think that Aura had that round in the bag. They let it slip. Had so much advantage, but still, NZ decides to swing once again. That's, you know, still understandable. He did not really have much of a disadvantage in that fight, but the other ones, they just couldn't capitalize. Oh my god, look at Deadly! Broke Prime's ankles! Slides across, then slides in his face. Oh, Gamble.
down
Great
A.
target practice for him. Deadly still holds on to the judge, gets the elevation. The knives are whizzing
NZ.
past Moner's head.
No, that's so difficult to watch. But Paradox gets 2 back. And BGG is going to just kind of circle him around. And by the time he can settle into his aim, he's going to find himself in the afterlife. NZ getting played around with. Moner's just going to hold on. Oh, he's going to throw in the smoke. Okay, oh, be careful. Yeah, the cover's there. The cover's there.
Yeah, probably wouldn't kill the Vandal, but Judge is the right weapon to kill Moner. Not so much for the guy on the high ground. Good round. Reckoning paid out mistakes from Aura. And you have to give credit to Deadly, man. Just pushing in Prime's face. My god, that is some PTSD-inducing movement right there.
Yeah, it definitely induces something, that's for sure. We'll find out how much he can do this, how quickly he can continue doing this, because it seems like he's just gonna buy the judge every single round. And it's a good idea as well. I don't mind it. He's just gonna be running straight in. Here he has a little bit of support as well. The stun is perfect. Unfortunately, the adjustment is not. Trades come in both sides. Gambo's gonna hold on here. The flash is perfect. Tricky's gonna go down. The spike's on the floor. And NZ's coming on the flank here. He will take in tipping damage here. Getting into this pit. And he's gonna get away. No, he's not. BGG's ready for him. And now it's just that one chamber once again with the knife in his hand. This kid needs to be taught some discipline about changing his weapons mid-fight.
Yeah, has to pull out the Headhunter just to make up for that. And still can't get the frag. Plus, they heard him as he dropped down to the ground, so it's not like he was trying to keep his position a secret. 5 rounds for Reckoning so far, 3 of them in a row. This should have shattered the economy of Aura, but they're just surviving off of max loss bonus, so they can still keep affording weapons and regen armor. But how much longer can they go on like this? They need a significant ult advantage to break through Reckoning, and they have one now. Hunter's Fury and Viper's Pit available, but Moner just walks through.
And Paradox as well.
Excuse me?
They just kind of exchanged positions, but it's good because Paradox has got information. He's going to relay it all the way to his team. But what they don't know is that Moner's also in a spot where he can call out a lot of information. Does he get this angle check is the question. Yep, there it is. Enzy's pretty aware. And he's been caught out, and once again, Tricky. A lot of knives out here, or utility out in the hands to try and find, but Deadly's just running around with a judge. The shotgun's doing its work, and so are the Vandals. Romeo just dodging, dancing around here. Sees one, but gets taken out by the other. Deadly's got to get up close and personal. The stun's not going to help him, so he's going to go in for the lightning fingers. Unfortunately for him, just two members spraying down is stronger than the one. That's going to be Aura's third.
You failed. Now flee.
Finally, they break their losing spree. Unfortunately, Reckoning have built up too much of an economic advantage, so it's not like they're going to care much. Doesn't really affect them all that much. But yeah, that was a round and a half from Aura. Holding on, being quite stubborn. Yes, a bit lacking in discipline. But I love how they cleared out Moner. Due diligence done by NZ right there. After that, though, of course, he could have had a much better time keeping himself alive. So, some good, some bad. Life is all about that yin-yang, and Reckoning are showing that Aura can invoke their balanced side when the situation is right.
Beautiful team flash, absolutely.
Made me lose my words.
Oh, Prime gets away with the one. Makes
Ball
it
covers him
seem
as well.
almost easy. Goes back for some reason. Shouldn't have had the need to. And it's become a 3v3 from a 5v3. So Aura kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. Deliberately. They just took a sheriff and like, okay, I'm going to shoot myself straight in the foot. And they did it pretty, hard as well. Now, the reconvenience of Reckoning is to go back towards A, most likely, because that's exactly where their attention seems to be drawn towards. They do have a bit of utility. They've got two smokes on the Yeoman, and of course a wall as well to support them. So Moner's going to keep him busy, while Romeo now takes in the head front approach.
And they were playing offside up until now. Heaven still not smoked. Great reveal. Paradox gets the spam, but BGG instantly trades him. Viper on Viper violence, 2 on 2. After like 3 taps, they finally commit to the spike plant. And BGG playing a little ahead on top of the box. Moner spots the head. Gamble loses it. And Sinks just does not have the right crosshair positioning. Nice recovery from Reckoning.
It almost seems like always they're just going to the opposite side of where Sinks is. Either that or he's always getting caught off guard during rotations. He's just not had an opportunity to take a head front fight. Although, okay, that's way too bright for my eyes. Okay. Yeah, can we just get... Yep, come on. Yeah, get out of there slowly. There we go. Thank you so much. All right.
Like, Tricky's already trying to team flash Romeo. I don't know if that was a mistake or...
No, it was on purpose. I'm pretty sure. He misses that jump. But this guy won't. He's just gonna jump in. No, he's not. What is he doing? And look at how quickly the flanks come in. Okay, Mona. Yeah, stun him, knife him. Yeah, he took out the knife himself. Sinks is just like, yeah, give up, bye-bye.
Yeah, he just accepted his death over there. Prime can catch Mona off guard, but Mona announces his position.
Honestly, I'd love to see a ninja. Wait, what's he doing?
Excuse me?
What's he doing? Oh, there. Okay. No. Yes. No. Okay. We just had a bit of a slow motion, real live action fight. Yeah, we just wanted to see it. We usually do slow motion for replays, but we're like, no, we're different. We just want to see slow motion for a second in real time, guys. We just want to show you how it works in the brain of a pro player, because what we see is so quick. For them, it's just like, yeah, I'm going to shoot. Now let me knife it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you can't do a good slow-mo voice, but lovely way to convey the idea.
I can
Like-
try to do.
Oh
Oh
god.
my god! Wait,
How
what?
does he not get stunned?
I don't know. He missed. There's no way. He stood right in the center of it, right?
Yeah. Mona inside the Viper smoke, and he pops out.
Remaining.
Oh, that
Big
was
spray onto
ew,
NZ.
Ew, ew, yuck. That was
Spike
disgusting.
He still
Both of them.
wins.
How does he still? Yo, it's not about him winning. Look at his health. He got one bullet hit on him across that entire exchange. One bullet. He took more damage from the fall damage he did just now than the bullet that he was shot at him.
Absolute truth. Oh, truer words have not been spoken. Did
Last
you?
round before the switch.
Did I what?
Yeah. Never mind. I was about to ask you a very profound question about the nature of Valorant and the state of the meta, but clearly these players have no regard for that. Aura, I don't know what they're gonna cook up in the last round, but this triple mid stack is not giving me a good vibe.
Triple? You mean quadruple?
Quadruple, yeah, it's a quadruple now.
Oh wait, they're going back towards A. Oh, okay, something changed. Something changed. They're gonna do a and mid split push. Sinks is pushing B again. He's got, and we're going towards, what in the world is that? Where the hell's Mona going? Prime still gets away with one on the Judge. It seems like Judge is the name of the game here. Okay, we're
Corner.
going past on each other. Tricky gets one, and I am confused.
Like two ships sailing in the night. He just ignores them for the time being, but Prime gets it right. Quite a lot of brave pushes by Reckoning.
Switching sides.
First you had Moner double teleporting into its mid. Caught.
That time.
Vele dashing on top of Fridge. Caught.
Only
Who?
one.
Yeah, it took a bit of time.
Wait,
But-
one second. Where do you see the waylay? What do you mean waylay?
I'm sorry, the freaking dive. Sorry. Why am I saying Vele? It felt like it. It was the freaking jet. My bad.
Ah, okay. Yeah, bro's another dimension. Never mind.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
My
Cripps has left us,
brain is
guys.
working in slow motion right now. It's like I've been hit with the Vele time hint.
Yeah, Cripps is gone, guys. He's gonna have a nice little break. Go to Himalayas. Take a nice little stroll. Put some snow on his face. Ice water if you have, you know. Put
Mhm.
some ice and water in a bowl. Put your face in it. Dip it, and then stand in the balcony for an hour.
Just take a good look
I
at myself in the
really
mirror
hope
as
you
well.
know the meme reference I'm making, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just a chill guy.
That's how you fix your life.
Oh my
What?
god, NZ
Oh,
can't fix his
oh
aim though.
my
Not in
God.
time. Deadly still pushing the envelope, trying to get so greedy over here. Sings walks back out and lands only a body shot.
Wait, what is that wall? Where has he thrown that wall? That is crazy. He cut off the entire A side from spawn. And Mona, the frenzy. Yeah, Tuesday, I told you.
Spike
It's a
planted.
Tuesday.
One enemy
Classic
remaining.
works as well. Somehow 3v2 becomes a 1v2.
Prime gets into a much more forward position than they would expect him to be in. But he can get timing.
gone,
He's not
he's
looking
gone,
in
he's
the
gone.
right direction.
Yeah, he's gone. That's GG. For this round, not the game. GR. That's a GR.
Good round.
Yeah, good round.
Get wrecked.
Spike is diffused.
Go run.
Yeah, go touch grass, man.
Grass.
I needed to do that for a second. I
Grass.
forgot that
Sure.
there was no Waylay in this game.
Well, as much as mine and Cripps' brains are fried, we now see 3 judges on RGE.
I don't like this
just
at all.
Fantastic.
Hey, they switched.
Okay, they changed. Yeah, okay. Now, Deadly's... Oh, he's going to go back to the sheriff. Okay. That's
No problem.
uncharacteristic. Why no judge this time? Huh?
I don't even know if he still has a Marshal or a Spectre. He just keeps on switching that weapon. But this wall, look at this one. Bisects mid in half. And Aura Esports are running as fast as their little feet can carry them. Nice paranoia, but nobody gives Moner the fight. Stays alive. Big
Spike
TPs.
planted.
Do they bite the bait? Oh, he
Ah,
misses the
ew.
shots. And now
Yeah,
Gamble takes the
that's
set
not
off.
pretty. What is Sinks doing? Every time this kid is seen with a knife or utility in his hand.
How does BCT still want to fight this? Deadly dives into Paradox's crosshairs. And what can Tricky accomplish over here? Still doing his due diligence, still clearing corners.
I cannot believe Reckoning through this round.
Last player standing.
Oh my god. Yeah, Tricky. Just get away with the Marshall. Maybe pick up that Outlaw in towards the spawn. Nah, Paradox says no. 5 to 9. And Reckoning absolutely massacre a round that was crafted for them.
Just a little piece of origami. Work of art.
My friend, we are so far away from a work of art right now.
Hey, he's a Jackson Pollock enthusiast. He just throws paint on the canvas and calls it art.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Okay.
Can't believe I have to justify my opinions on what
Hey,
art
okay.
is over here.
Sorg, forgive
On a
me.
live
Yo,
broadcast.
yo, okay, chill. Damn, bro. Okay, I get it. Prime's just... Okay. He's got to judge again, by the way, this kid. He's on the Reyna, and he's got to judge. Okay.
If he can close the distance, he can get something. Up close? Nah, not gonna happen. That Lear won't blind anyone at that range, but okay, good attempt. He's in the perfect range to take Tricky down, but Sinks beats him to the punch. Hey, this time at least he had a gun out in hand.
Moner's looking for a ninja. Here we go. Okay. Now the only thing that needs to be done, the Viper taking all the attention. Yeah.
Yeah, baits it
There
up.
we go. Oh, no. Just go for the ninja. Just go for the ninja. Yes. Come on, go for the ninja. There we go. He's open spotted. They're not going to check him.
Damn.
Oh, come on.
Damn.
No! No! Why would he check that? No.
Oh, building suspense. TP's back into the smoke. Oh, they know. Bye.
What in the world? Okay.
You walked past them!
And he gets one. Wow, that is... Oh, and he's... Yep. That is one of the craziest rounds I have ever seen. No, that's just plain dumb right there. Why would he turn to check that though? Why did he do that? Why did he turn around and check that?
Just a hunch, you know. He felt the instinct of a predator around him. He sniffed his opponent out. And probably he heard, like...
It was not even like, you know, hey, I'm going to casually check it. It was like a straight 180 in Paradox.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, that was a sus. That was a bit too fast of a turn. Maybe he picked up on the Mission Impossible theme that I was humming. Somehow it started,
Maybe.
coming through in his brain. Maybe some over-the-radio telepathic signals were sent through and he heard it. Oh my god, Paradox is deep in spawn. Shooting Moyer, who was, I think, putting out a smoke. And Romeo. He's snapping!
Okay.
So good. Finally, a tinge of brilliance in this game. And I'm wide awake again.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he's going for the ace. He knows where his nemesis is. Dashes right past him, baits out. And he's got it.
Wait, did Gambo on purpose give that to him? Jumping out like that?
Well,
Defuse the spike.
that will definitely plant a seed of doubt in your mind, which will
Ace.
blossom into a finishing tree.
You should have seen your faces.
Oh, well, they definitely need to see their faces now in the mirror because having given an ace like that, especially the first 3 kills, that is a bit of an embarrassment for Aura. Now they've got Sinks on the tour de force. Where does he take his big golden weapon?
Damn, that was a crazy one, though. Loved how he stepped up. I think he's been wanting to play like that since a very long time, but his teammates are just not setting him up that way. So he takes it into his own hands, takes matters upon himself, and he continues.
Oh! Yo, that is another discussion. Okay, he's going for a second ace. He wants 2 here. A bit of a pushback from his own teammate. The nade does miss, but he's coming in for more. Moner, right on top of things here. Gets away with one, and he will make it to safety as well.
Nice.
They know Prime's close.
Oh my
Flash him
God.
out. He's still alive and healthy. Paradox is here to support him, but Mona's just playing with his food right now. Paradox just trade. Tricky comes in, forgive me, Deadly comes in and somehow, in the most outlandish of scenarios, it's
player
gone down
standing.
to a
One
1v2.
enemy remaining.
Never mind, 1v1.
Huh?
Paradox got him with the snake bite.
Wow.
And now he's gonna ultimate. Here we go. Got the Viper spin. Formless, you know what to do.
Viper versus Viper. Welcome to the jungle. Oh, they walk past each other
Oh, they
once
actually
again.
do.
Like
Again.
two ships in the night. They just walk past each other. Hey, one of them has an idea.
Oh,
and
he's gonna
got
knife
the
again.
trail.
Paradox for a second knife turn here.
They're just
Yo,
spinning around the
this
whole
is-
side.
Paradox now. Paradox is confused. Paradox doesn't know he lost sight of him. He's gonna tap. Ah, he gets him. Paradox gets a fourth. And somehow Reckoning have thrown away a 5v2.
Hey, that's what happens when one of them tries to get serious. You saw how Romeo really just... He could smell the bloodlust all the way from across the screen. And yeah, he was really going for those frag highlights, but then he gets stopped by the KO molly. And then Moner's like, okay, my turn now. I'm going to make a smoke shenanigan. For once, he was actually helped with a flash. The KO helped him out. Got him a kill. But then after that, everything just came crashing down.
Interesting ultimate. They already committed. Gambo's actually going to touch one of them, and he's going to be able to help Romeo probably get one in that. Yep. Now it's up to Deadly. It's getting a little serious now. Deadly does make it a little easier. 4v4. The site's being held on. NZ right across that smoke. Just take the damage from the Viper wall and we'll go down. And now Reckoning just hope to throw this, and Tricky says, no, I'm not going to do it, Universe. This time I'm going to win. It's going to be a 4K from me.
Yeah, Reckoning are not playing around anymore. They're not beating around the bush. They're going straight for the kill. They want to end this. They've toyed with their food enough. Now the wolves, their jaws come clamping down. Their fangs will sink deep into the flesh of their enemies. I can feel a sudden atmosphere change, Universe. I can feel that finally Reckoning are playing the way they were supposed to be playing all this time. Or maybe that's just me, you know, on massive amounts of copium.
Yeah, nah, okay. We'll find out if the copium is going to work. Moner. Interesting smoke from him. Dropped that far down, but here's Deadly and Romeo getting one each. Moner's in a good position to find off a third as well, but he's got one right across the wall. He's gonna hear them coming in from top, and they most certainly will not expect this, but Gambo does. He sees the barrel, finds himself that kill. It's a 2v3, and even though they've got Tricky's ultimate, this is still a pretty difficult round for Reckoning to get back into.
Exactly, they're not even close to each other. Barely any trade potential. Tricky will have to pull the attention. Clears out the close corners, but BGG, he's still doing his due diligence. Still making sure there's nobody playing up close towards mid. Oh, under the tube, gets the shot lovely. And
Oh
now
my
Paradox,
God.
he looks towards BGG, and that's when he gets shot in the back.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, they know he's a judge. He needs to get away from here, but he's got no time for the utility. There he goes. He's going to start ticking down now. Prime's just jumping up and down and trying to keep himself alive, but he's got no time, but he still wins it out. Prime in prime form in that round to clutch it out. That was quite the clutch from him with a judge no less as well.
Great pace. Aura leave nothing. They flash out of mid, race into the side, and they even get Moner, who was like, you know, trying to be sneaky, doing their due diligence, checking every single corner, and then in the end, the cojones to stay in that corner, even though the snake bite was just burning away at your feet. Wins the fight with the judge, doesn't even have to reload, and this time BGG has a judge of his own, but Deadly is
it
out
seems like they're
in
gonna finish the game.
overdrive.
Yeah, another slow motion with a couple of frames missed here and there. It's going to be BGG and Romeo finish things off. I think it's going to go one after the other. The op's not going to connect. He's out in the open, and neither will the headhunter. It seems like Reckoning just want to get done with it and go for their evening snacks now. It is pretty late, considering that by this time, they usually have a different schedule in mind. It's 8 to 12. They've got a Viper Spit. They've got that null command as well. This game should be over right here because Aura barely have money left, in my opinion. I think they've got a bunch of weapons, of course, but not strong enough. And once again, Reckoning are like, okay, we're going to just take that mid approach once again. It worked perfectly one time. Why not another?
Yeah, they've got the Paranoia to assist as well. Deadly following up. But none of them are offering him the fight. Paradox will be the first contact. But can he swing to take Deadly out? He gives up on the fight. Oh no, they body block each other!
Oh, the block. The block. It is a horrible.
Get out of my way.
Moner's come on the flank, though. He's not been heard. No, he has been heard. Sinks got the call from, of course, Gambo. And that's going to be a 5v2. Unless, of course, BGG has something to say about it.
Standing.
No, he doesn't. NZ says, shut up.
Yeah, NZ's woken up. Knew that somebody will be watching the crossing. Tricky. Ooh, looks away. This could be the perfect case of timing,
Another
and
knife.
Paradox gets yet another chance at redemption. They're creating distraction for him.
Okay.
The smoke and the flash thrown in to keep Tricky's attention in the front, and this time Paradox doesn't miss.
I'll tell you what, he's going to blame it on the knife. Last time he had a different knife, right? He's going to blame it on the knife. He's going to be like, yo, it's that knife, you know, it's that skin. It just doesn't connect, man. You gotta have this one, the Nocturnum one.
Yeah, bring out the sight. This one doesn't miss. And his teammates were like, okay, Paradox, you know what? You don't want Universe to embarrass you any further. Go ahead. Take it.
Nah,
Zero
he's getting
throw,
embarrassed no
cloudburst.
matter what, bro. He's done.
The damage is done.
All right, go straight in for the ultimate. It seems like it's time done for Aura, unless, of course, they just swing out as a trio, and both the duelists just jumping around there. Deadly, I don't know what he was trying to do. Mona, he's playing around with his teleports here, just getting to a bit of a safety point. Looks like he's gonna be able to get one. And Mona will be taken out here. B site's opened up, and he's gonna clear a top as well. Takes a good position. Once again, it's that same duo. Tricky and Mona, forgive me, Tricky and BGG. Now it's all on the Viper. He's gonna go across the world, try and find as much as he can, but unfortunately for him, it's just too much to fight.
Yeah, this round's basically done and dusted. Gift wrap for Aura with a little bow on top. BGG can just hope to do economic damage at best. And Aura, they're just starting to build up their economy. They can't afford to snowball now. They can't. Oh, Baron
he
spotted,
did not
right?
see him. Hello?
Huh?
Hello?
Again!
You give him tuna. He saw the barrel. What is he looking at? BGG? Nah, no way.
He saw the battle, right? Or was that us with
He
our
did. No,
extra
he
POV? He
did.
did,
He
right?
did.
Yeah.
Even in stretched, I'm pretty sure he did. Even in stretched, there is no way he missed that.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
pretty
like
sure
right
he
in
just
front of
wasn't
him.
paying attention.
Or maybe this time Paradox skin choice helps him yet again. Maybe, you know, the barrel of the gun meshes with the geometry of the kitchen counter or something. And it just gets camouflaged.
Man, I don't think so. But
You want to play? Let's play.
Romeo, okay, team flash is great. He's gonna go up, get blinded by his opponent. Nothing to do with that updraft. They know he's there, and he's just gonna get away.
Draft gun. Still got the blades. Aura, do they have the sharpness enough to deal with them though? Tiny angle held by Deadly. Won't find anything, but Romeo on the other hand will find sinks. That's the lurker taken out. Now Reckoning know that the entire force of Aura is heading towards the A side. Tricky goes and check, and the
Oh, Tricky gets one as
Wow.
well.
Down A.
nice
Deadly.
helping him out.
Standing.
Of course, it had to be a thrifty, or else it would be Reckoning. 13 to 10, 13 to 10. I'm gonna say Twen, and by fair means as well, my tongue's twisted and mine's broken by watching what I just did. But ladies and gentlemen, your winners of the ROG Academy tournament show match is, of course, Reckoning Esports. Played with a little bit of fun, played for a little bit of banter, but in the end, they still take it home, showing that they've got a caliber to them that deserves to be at the top. ROG and Aura, they did their best. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to take even one map off of this team. And here we are in the final as Reckoning will go home, eat their evening snacks with a good victory on the back of their heads.
And we got to see almost everything in this game of Icebox. We got to see
Mhm.
double knives. We got to see plenty of judge pandemonium fights, so many clutches, 2v5s, 3v5s off the rip everywhere. And a lot of silly ultimates as well. Quite a lot of fun. So definitely an entertaining match, even though it was played suboptimally by both the teams. But we would like to thank Aura and Reckoning Esports for joining us in this tournament. Take a look at the scorecard. Paradox did climb his way to the top. And this time, Gambo, even though his utility was quite decent, not able to find a lot of frags. Romeo, I don't know what possessed him for a second over there, but there were a couple of rounds where he just woke up and chose violence.
Yeah, the ace, of course. Then even in the last couple of rounds where he got multiple kills with his knives, all that said and done, Deadly once again at the bottom, man. Come on, Deadly. Although he had his movement moments, he knows how to run around with the neon, right? There's no question about that. He knows how to run around. Maybe the judge could connect a little better. I mean, to be fair, I think he was just playing around for fun. He was just hoping that, you know what, my teammates got my back. We got this, no problem. Even if I go 0-20, my team's got this. So that's no problem. It is what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to a conclusive end of the show match for ROG Academy. We will be doing more of these pretty sure, and we will be seeing how can this team just keep scaling up, get better, of course, thanks to courtesy of ROG. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of this, there's definitely going to be more seasons coming up with ROG. So keep an eye out, follow them on their socials, and make sure that you could be on that team next time if you want to be the next Valorant professional, if you want to get some resources, if you think that you've got what it takes to be a Valorant pro, ROG's got you, and you could be the next one on the team. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are done for today, Crips, unless you have any final thoughts.
I would just love to thank Aura and Reckoning once again for gracing us with their presence.
Absolutely.
This team, this entire show match, the purpose of this was to get enough practice done for the ROG Academy Valorant roster. And they got to say, I think it's safe to say that they got quite a lot of experience with this. The first match that they played was against a 4 duelist lineup. They definitely will take away the lessons on how to deal with a hyper-aggressive lineup. And then Aura Esports, they also were able to get quite a lot of good reads onto ROG Academy's Valorant roster. So quite a lot of gaps to fill, but hey, the team was just formed less than a month ago, and there's still 5 more months left in this entire season. So I really hope to see that this roster, they will improve a lot, and we will get to see them much stronger in the next set of show matches. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Crips signing off along with Universe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.